Well, guys, we left you on a little bit of a cliffhanger on our last episode. Chris actually wrapped it up really nicely, but
Did he?
he did.
Okay.
He did. He
like a Christmas present. I don't know what you're talking about.
he did. He actually kind of remember you were like the chessboard is set,
Oh yeah.
and we're gonna pick it up from here,
over
right?
dramatic, but yeah.
No, it was good, man. It was good. But the only issue is Google. Well, I can't blame Google for this, but apparently some new information got released in terms of what's actually in the script, in terms of dialogue and a lot of subtext and context that's really, really, really cool. And I couldn't resist. So we got to take you back a couple paces, not a lot. We're still in the top of the second act, going into the third act. So we're almost at the same spot, but I think this will be worth it. Yeah, guys? Yeah?
Yeah.
We all on
Yeah.
board for
Better
this?
be.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. So they haven't read it. I've read it. So if this is a giant fuck up, it's my fault. So
Yeah, blame Frank.
blame me. Okay, guys, let's hit the music.
Meanwhile, back on the podcast, 4 colossal nerds named Saba, Chris, Christina, and Frank have set out to take on a great darkness that has enveloped the world of fandom. With their powers of common sense and the strength to take on even the most butthurt Twitter mobs and insufferable comment section trolls. They fight for truth, objectivity, and nuance in the conversation and debate over fictional made-up shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Meanwhile, back on the podcast. I'm Frank McGuire.
I'm Christina Dudimos.
I'm Chris Ibana.
I'm Saba Mir.
We have got a great episode for you guys. If you listen to our second last episode, I think it is, you were listening to part 2 of the Colin Trevorrow Duel of the Fates script breakdown that we were doing, and we're gonna continue on with that. We're not gonna waste any time. It's not that I don't care about how you guys are doing. I just think we got a lot to get through, and
Yeah, let's do it.
let's rock and roll. So we left off around the top of the second act, going into the third, but we got to pedal back just a bit because this stuff is really fucking cool, and I don't want to just glance over it. So I'm gonna start right away. So Kylo approaches an ancient stone military battlement consumed by time. Skeletons of fallen war beasts litter the terrain. I think this is actually the description from the script, which is crazy. Whatever battle happened here ended centuries ago. He passes empty suits of armor, robes draped over broken shields. I love this shit. This is so Lord of the Rings, dude. Flags flutter in the wind, a Sith helmet on the ground, skull visible within. A reminder that while the Jedi live on, the Sith become dust.
Wow, that's like
That's
real.
cool.
That's
Yeah,
cool as
that's-
fuck. That is so Lord of
it's
the Rings,
written
dude.
well.
So this is supposed to be Mortis?
Yeah, description of
not Mortis.
Remnacor.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the Sith planet of
That's
Remnacor.
It seems a little bit extra.
I love it.
It's like, I'm over this.
Man, I would love that. Like,
The Sith are dust. Kylo's still around. He's a Sith.
Actually, he's not.
Well, sort of.
Yeah.
Essentially, he's he's got Sith powers. He acts like a Sith.
Yeah, he does
Yeah,
have Sith powers.
well, I mean,
but
comparing to like the Sith Empire, which was like the biggest thing.
yes.
Yeah.
Like they've been nothing. Like the Rule of Two, even before
Yes.
the Rule of Two, like they've been nothing, right?
Yeah.
Man, I want this as like the concept art. I want that the concept art or this exact
Yeah.
scene. I want that in my room.
Me too, bro.
He's as much a Sith as
So good.
Rey is a Jedi. If the Jedi live on, and
That-
it's
that is
Rey.
true.
That's a good point.
That's true. They're
That's a
both
good
like,
point.
I mean, so was Luke. Really, like
Yep.
Luke.
He's-
The entire time we saw him in the thing, like he becomes a Jedi later, but
Yeah.
like the entire time, really, he's got like a monicum of like training. You know what I mean?
It
Yeah.
should say the Jedi live on in spirit.
So we're kind of going back into one of the scenes we've talked about, I think, last episode.
Yep.
So Kylo has a tracking beacon that flashes, and he enters the fortress, and he hears the voice of Tor Valum. Kylo asks if he trained Plagueis, and Valum says that name means nothing to me. It's like he's like, I don't know who that bitch is, or I don't know. Maybe he's not. That's not what he means. Maybe that's just
So-
how I interpret things.
So that's a good clarification because the last episode we said that he asked him if he was Plagueis. He's asking him if
Right.
he trained Plagueis
Mhm.
because I was like speculating, oh, he's Plagueis. He's got to be Plagueis,
Yeah.
right? So obviously he's not. So that's good. This is a good clarification. Sorry, Saba.
Yeah,
Continue.
well, no, this part's really interesting because Kylo threatens him, which is like not like stop threatening people when you meet them. Like, can you just not do that? Can you not be like, hey, how's it going? But Valen says to him, "You wish to obtain the power of those who came before. Take your place among the gods of Mortis."
Awesome.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Take your
because-
place among the gods of Mortis. That's dope.
I think here's the thing though with Kylo, is that I do like his character. I think he's acted well,
Yep.
and maybe in this movie I would have seen him in a different light.
Yep.
But I just feel like some of what he's earned is unearned. Like some of what he's got, like he is now, the commander of like the First Order. He's like and then he's off doing this.
It was inherited. Based on who he was.
I get it because nepotism, Skywalker. All right, I see how that is.
So it's a little bit of Sith privilege.
Yeah, Sith privilege. Yeah. maybe that's the legacy of the Skywalkers. Is just unearned thing, like just unearned power.
Yeah,
like right?
I mean, okay,
Don't you think?
Saba has a really good point because I agree with what you were saying too.
Yeah.
But there is a difference between like inheriting like the remnants of the Empire because you're the grandson of the, but like inheriting the place among the gods of the Force, that's something else, right? That's like you're right. Like it is kind of like weird.
But
But
didn't
he is sort of
Anakin
the only
almost
one
do the
left.
same thing in Clone Wars too?
But Anakin was like born of the Force.
Yeah, but he almost became a god of Mortis as well. Remember, like they invited him to be within that
'cause
pantheon,
he
right?
he was the chosen one for
Yeah.
sure. But like,
And in this case, there's literally nobody else. Somebody should sit on the throne.
no, but like
Yeah.
If
it's
there's all
just
this power.
yeah, I guess so. But like,
And the father's dead.
it's just weird that like Anakin was one thing. Anakin was like the prophesy one. Like
Yeah.
like with actually, if I'm being honest, like if this made it into it, I probably would have had a problem with it because it's like it's this like new lineage. It's this new like destiny that he gets introduced to him in
Mhm.
this last one.
Mhm.
That's a little weird. That's an entirely new storyline that they have to like introduce. If there was like a power to, if there was like, oh, there's this secret weapon that you need to get, that's one thing. But like, oh, there's a new thing you need to inherit. There's a new thing you need to become. Like that's an entirely new storyline that just gets introduced in this, which was what we were bashing. Well, some of us were bashing like the Rise of Skywalker for in the first place, right? Which is like too many introductory storylines.
Good point.
Yeah.
Fair point. Yeah.
Well, that was Saba's point.
Well, you really expanded on that, Chris.
Anyways, so Valum like starts talking to him. This new dialogue is actually really dope.
Yes,
Um,
exactly.
So Valum says, actually, before I continue, like,
Yeah.
so he pretty much says he's not Plagueis, right?
Yes.
I kind of don't like that. I kind of like it being ambivalent, right? Like
Ambiguous.
Like I'm like I could be him, right? Like it means nothing to me because I'm above that.
You know what?
Right?
I like that too because when we talked about that particular line in the last episode, it was more ominous.
Yeah,
when he's like, that name
exactly.
means nothing to me,
Yeah.
right?
It could
Like
mean
that-
it was him. It just like
He's been alive
Yeah.
so fucking long that he doesn't even identify with who he
Yeah.
was before.
which give,
That would be cool as
Yeah.
shit.
But
Yeah, I'm
anyways.
with you on that.
So Valum says to him like, you call yourself a Sith. The Sith are unrepentant, remorseless, and you're haunted by your past and your very existence. So it's like right there, it's like it really fits his sort of his progression, which with the later scene that we get with him throwing Vader's mask off of the thing, because that's what he says Vader's weakness was, right? Like he's like, he wasn't remorseless, like he didn't let go of his past as much as he claims he did. So I thought that was really cool. And Valum like pretty much tries to instruct him to sever his past and like telling him pretty much like that's the way to the Sith way, so that he doesn't like suffer the same fate as the corpses of the fortress.
That's cool, man.
That's what he says, I think.
That is cool as shit.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting that in like the next part, where Valum is like going to teach him basically how to like consume life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The life consuming, like to live for as long as you. It's just I guess this is like what Chris was saying before. It's like, oh, probably because he is like the Sith is probably resting on his shoulders. Like that's like, okay, this is like who we have.
Yep.
They probably would want someone who whined less, but you know,
I don't think they care, honestly.
yeah, that's true. But I do think that is interesting.
Okay, then Valum says to Kylo, the living force is nourishment. The more one consumes, the stronger one becomes. To take life is to cheat death. Then he shows him how to consume life, which is basically described as vampiric, and remove force from living beings.
Damn, you know those
I dig
teens
this,
love
man.
those vampires.
Yeah. That's the first thing I thought of. Was
I
like,
wrote
oh,
2.0.
God.
How do you feel about
This is the
Star
first
Wars?
vampiric good thing I've actually liked.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you feel about them bringing vampires?
Well, there's no
stuff
teeth.
into-
Yeah, there's no
Yeah.
There's
teeth.
no teeth. There's no like
Yeah.
vampire aesthetic. There's no
Ah,
like.
What if
I
there
feel like
was?
Vellum could look like a vampire, and Palpatine kind of looked like a vampire in the last one.
You know what?
In all of them, really.
As long as they don't like
Pale
sport
as fuck.
teeth and start going
Yeah.
people, I'm good.
There's some
Holy shit, they
hissing.
have the robes already.
Yeah,
Anyways.
They do.
Yeah.
They've got the fashion sense
There,
down
there could be
for
blood.
sure.
Can I tell you?
For sure.
I don't think I've seen a scene of Kylo in the sunlight.
Oh, God.
New theory.
It's because he sparkles.
Yeah, those those Sith Lords are pretty
Might have
pale.
something to do with
I
space.
think we're ruined. I think we're
It
ruining
might.
Star Wars right now.
It might.
But yeah, it is. Yeah, so he's going to be the one that's learning how to do that, I guess, and
And that's how he gets his we talked about this last week, but this is how he gets his like life drain power, which is a way more better explanation than
Yep.
what we got in Rise.
I like the idea of a life drain power, and I like that some creepy ancient creature is teaching
what
it.
was the explanation in Rise again? I don't remember.
They just have it.
It was
They
the
had,
snake. No,
they
there was
were-
that snake thing, and then she
yeah,
she
no,
like,
that's
yeah.
life.
gets
Let's
her,
life.
and she
The other,
touches
the
the-
opposite of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
It's life
opposite power. Yeah,
transference.
life transfer.
And
But
she
she
learned that
touches
from the
the
text.
snake.
She
to,
learned that
like-
from the Jedi
Yeah.
text.
They
supposedly.
were-
They never explained it.
They were a dyad in the Force, apparently. Kylo
No, that
and
was also a different
Ray.
thing. So like,
Oh.
There's so
so
many- there's a lot
Palpatine
of
just
things.
has it.
yeah,
Apparently, like it was Palpatine. He was the only one that life drained in the entire movie,
right.
and he just had it. There was no explanation for it. But
Right.
it was sort of justified by Rey's opposite ability, which is
Okay.
life transference.
Yeah.
right.
But like she doesn't
right.
explain how she gets it. She just explains what it is.
Yeah,
And Palpatine, like that's even less problematic than Palpatine having it, because
Sure.
the question becomes, why don't you just life drain Anakin when his all of his limbs were cut off,
yeah.
and he was useless to you essentially?
Yep.
Just life drain him. Like why didn't you do that in the first? That's the problem that I
Yeah,
sort
no,
of had with it.
they complicated a lot of things by introducing these.
Yeah,
these
but
power
this
sets,
explanation
without a doubt.
doesn't do that.
Yeah.
That's the cool part about this
Yeah, I
script.
like it. Yeah, I
it like
dig
respects it, right?
Yeah, I dig it.
Okay, so then we go back to Coruscant with Team A, Rose, Finn, R2, and C-3PO. So we know that there's this whole plan there. They're going to try to light this beacon, and there's some people living underground. And Finn is shocked by the amount of people that are still kind of living there, I think. And I think this kind of sort of probably is like a bit of foreshadowing of like these people coming out and helping them in the fight. And Rose has this quote: "Rich folk don't spend much time thinking about who and what they're standing on." Which kind of calls back to stuff in The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
it's
really
very
did.
Rose of her for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
there was a huge class divide in The Last Jedi, and I think this just kind of continues it on and honors it, which is good. Especially because the First Order, like within this script, they've basically shown up on Coruscant and built everything over top of what was already there. So it's almost symbolic, metaphoric for, the rich basically living off the backs of the disenfranchised. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of
And
what I'm taking from
I
it.
do like the next scene or the next kind of conversation between 3PO and R2, because C-3PO says his knowledge is only limited to the upper levels, and R2 just beeps. C-3PO responds, "Elitist, where did you even learn that word?" Which I think is pretty funny in general.
There's
Oh,
actually
that's
kind of
good.
is elitist.
He
yeah.
is,
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
he's
especially if you need a language bot,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
a rich person.
It's actually funny because like obviously there's an explanation for this, but there's like a meme that I saw about like Anakin, like you know Anakin built 3PO,
yeah.
and then he was like, I built him to go to help mom around the farm, but let me just put this block out so he can't read ancient Sith text.
Yeah,
Like
that-
there's a lot of things that
Yeah.
he's like not allowed to do for just
Yeah.
like this bot that this boy made.
Yeah, but
Really
apparently just a quick explanation of that. So it wasn't Anakin that blocked him from reading Sith. It was like when he started working for the
Exactly.
Senate
Yeah.
or whatever with Padme. That's when they blocked him. From
Yeah, and they
work-
wiped
yeah.
his memory like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
Like
No,
they,
that
they
guy.
must have reprogrammed them.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like there is an explanation, but it's just
Yeah.
But I do really like the next part that is in this though, or like at least their plan. So they're going to send out that beacon, and C-3PO will send a hologram of Leia to the 50 planets. And I remember seeing the concept art for this, and it was like reminiscent of A New
Yes.
Hope, and
It
just
echoed.
looking at
It
that,
echoed
Yeah,
A New
like-
Hope.
and it's just like even the outfit that she was wearing,
Yeah.
and I know that some people don't like this idea of this kind of callbacks. I know everyone's using ideas again, but I think this is like nostalgia.
This
probably
one's
done
great.
right?
This one's great.
That scene is really cool, and I can
Yeah.
understand why. Like not Last Jedi. I think Rise of Skywalker probably wanted to use
Yeah.
Leia much more, but obviously, like unfortunately, Carrie Fisher passing away, so
Right.
they couldn't
Right.
and stuff. But man, I just would have loved to see her like that.
The
as long
only
as the message was different, I would have been okay with.
Oh,
that.
yeah, it wouldn't have been
Oh,
the same.
definitely different.
like-
yeah, but the only problem I have with this
Yeah.
is it was BB-8 and not R2.
I
I'm
like
sorry.
that too, though.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, but R2 is
Is the dude, man.
he's the narrator.
Yeah,
Like he's the one
100%.
that started this entire story,
100%.
right? He's the narrator.
But he's
And-
not with her. He can't. He wouldn't
No,
be able
well,
yeah, but they could have wrote it. They could have
They
wrote
could
around
have
it.
totally wrote him
Yeah.
in
Like,
there.
I
yeah.
agree with you. Like sell your BB-8 toys all you want. I don't
Exactly.
care. I like BB. I happen to like BB-8.
Yeah, I like
But
BB-8
don't
too.
replace R2.
No.
R2 is our dude,
No.
man. Like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But like going back to just like this point, like I also love this whole mirroring of like this whole Obi-Wan You're My Only Hope
Yeah.
like scene, and it's gonna like, you know, I think it would have been the most iconic scene, one of the most iconic scenes
Oh,
to
yeah.
to like be released. Like it for me, it's like equivalent to Independence Day, like the Independence Day speech scene.
Oh, I
You
love
know what I
that
mean?
speech.
Yeah.
Oh my
That was a good-
goodness.
that was
So
a good
sorry. I
scene.
love that movie.
And it's like if it's her doing this, like I don't know, like that callback is just perfect. I don't think anyone should have a problem with that scene, in my opinion. It's
Yeah.
not like a cheap trick.
I love
It's
it.
like, you know, it's the heart of this movie. I think that one
Yeah.
scene.
I love it. Like it's a perfect. Okay, if they had finished, like, let's say they did shoot this,
Mm-hmm.
and then this was one of the last memories we had of Carrie, we'd all be crying right now,
Yeah.
just talking about this scene.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because not only does it immortalize Carrie, and not only does it immortalize Leia as a character, it immortalizes that moment when we were first introduced
Yeah.
to this character,
Yeah.
right? It's such a beautiful callback.
And
Such
like
a
it wouldn't have
beautiful
been.
callback.
So what was there a concept art for this? Like was she
There-
dressed
Yes.
sort of
There
the
was a
same?
concept art. I'll send
yeah,
it to
I
you.
didn't
yeah,
see
it's
it.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
It's
Like
so
that's
beautiful.
something that
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
she
mean-
says like the word hope, that would have been so perfect.
she would
right there.
100% would say hope
Yeah.
in it. I
She
think
does. She does. I think Hope is kind of littered
It's like
throughout this
that's-
entire
yeah.
script. But yeah,
So yeah, that's how they break this whole. So that's how they break this whole like separation or like this disenfranchisement
Yeah.
of like all of these like armies that they don't have access to. And I thought that was like a much better explanation to how
yes,
they ended up in the final fight.
yes,
Yeah, so R2 and 3PO then enter the Jedi Temple. There's a homeless citizen living in or around it, and this person or creature describes the temple as a sad reminder of a better time. And then we get R2 teasing 3PO for standing out. in that scene.
I like that. But this is something that we rarely see in Star Wars, where there is like authentic kind of humane reaction to things, especially something like this. Like Coruscant was at one point like a very beautiful city, and the Jedi Temple was the center of it, and it kind of stood out as a beacon for, you know, hope and prosperity and all these great things. And to see people actually reacting to that it's a genuine moment. I like it. I
always love the interactions between R2 and 3PO.
Yeah.
So they have like a fun chemistry together.
They have a great relationship.
probably one of the best in the series.
Yeah, they're literally Laurel and Hardy. That's what they are. Like they're Laurel and Hardy in space. Like
Laurel and Hardy.
I don't know.
the comedy team.
I don't know
What?
who they are.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself. By the way, I saw this in black and
What
white like
decade is
when
that
I was
from?
younger, not like from that decade. I'm not a time traveler or anything. So yeah. But
yeah,
clearing
just
that
like
up.
them, just like those two people.
Yeah.
So it's a
Anyway,
black
guys.
and white TV show. Okay.
We're
So-
back to Remnacor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kylo is draining the living force from a three-tusked Gronk boar. I don't think I've ever seen this particular animal in the world of Star Wars.
Gronk? I'm thinking of Gronk, like the football player, but I'm
Yeah.
assuming it's not him.
A boar that looks exactly like Gronkowski.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's wearing a Patriots jersey.
Mhm. That's terrifying.
As Valum is training Kylo, they notice a cave. Valum refers to it as a vergence in the Force. Kylo enters it, and this is where he confronts Vader. and it's like the same kind of echo back to The Empire Strikes Back, where this cave is rich with dark force energy, and it manifests Darth Vader, and Darth Vader fights Kylo. And
what an amazing fight that would be,
I want to see it.
man.
I want to see it. I do. I wanna
And
see
him
it.
as a Force ghost.
I don't give a fuck if
like-
it's a Force vision. I want to
like,
see it.
like as a Force like vision, I think. Okay, so like there's a weird thing with fans where they're like they really want like Vader's return like to be used sparingly,
Yeah.
and not as a cheap trick, because everybody knows that like if they could just throw in Vader and it would make a lot of fans happy. But
Mhm.
also, so like that being said, like throwing Vader in randomly would make fans really pissed, because they're gonna be like, but I think this is like would be done right. It's hard to tell, man. Like if this was shown in this movie and it was done wrong, that would be one of the biggest
Yeah,
mistakes.
I don't honestly know how I feel about this
Yeah.
scene or if I would like it.
because
I'm
like,
on the fence with this.
because like yeah, because it's like, you know, everybody knows Rogue One. The best part of that thing
Oh
was
my
Vader's
God.
return, right?
Mhm.
But that was
Oh my
natural. Like he
God.
was alive at that point.
And
It
that was
made
Anakin
sense.
Vader. Like that was Anakin
that was
Vader.
Anakin Vader,
That was
exactly, like a
Anakin
young
Vader.
Vader. So
Yeah.
like him returning here, Force Vision or not, I think
Yeah.
that would have divided some fans. But I do
Right.
lie on the side of like I think this was a good a good use of Vader,
Yeah.
I just don't
Yeah.
like.
I think so.
I don't know.
because it mirrors like Empire Strikes Back, but
I think if
yeah.
Luke is gonna be a Force ghost, then I'm okay with seeing Vader as
Yeah.
a Force ghost as
Yeah.
well. So
yeah, and it's like who's as closely tied to Kylo as Vader is.
yeah,
Right,
and
right.
he's been talking to this helmet like for the past two
Yeah.
movies, so like it makes sense that way.
Yeah,
like
it's also weird. Stop
Yeah.
talking to a helmet,
If I was
Kylo.
going to if I was to choreograph this scene,
Yeah.
I would make the audience think that it's young Vader. Like as soon as he gets the armor on, I would have him do that signature like kick, that the Anakin kick,
Yeah.
and then the like the
Yeah.
the
cute Hayden Christensen
over the
Vader.
top.
okay,
yeah.
so
That's
how
what I would have him do.
So if I may, how I would do it is,
Yeah.
so I would actually do this fight scene as if it was old, old Vader that doesn't even like move as fast. But no matter what, because you know Kylo's gonna use his anger to like
Yeah.
to like jump around. But I want it to be like no matter how hard he comes at Vader,
Yeah.
Vader just like dismissively like tosses him aside. I would have loved this whole thing where it's like use all the anger you want.
Yeah.
Like, I'm your better, and there's no way around it. And I want this hopelessness to.
I like
want
that too.
Kylo to
I like
have
Because
both.
this
Oh, yeah,
hopelessness.
yeah,
in
yeah.
it.
I like
don't
that
think I want
too.
to see young Vader, because shouldn't the ghost be like from the time you left this world?
But
like,
but if it's somebody who's within Kylo's age group, it just
Yeah.
and plus it's a callback. Like it's definitely fan service to the
like, I would
fans,
be
right?
more
Well,
confused.
You're,
if he
well,
was
you have
young.
a point, because
Yeah.
Kylo was modeled after young Anakin.
Yeah.
Like even the way even the actor they chose was
Yeah.
because he looked like Hayden Christensen with the long hair.
Yeah.
Or like resembled him in a way, right?
Yeah.
Um.
He looked like a Jewish Hayden Christensen.
Okay.
I guess.
Wow.
Yeah.
He did. Well, like
But
that's not
I
a
do-
not a bad
I do
thing.
like the idea that Chris had about the desperation, because then that makes his fall to the dark side much more like believable to me, because
Yeah.
it's more coming from
And when
this
he
thing.
graduates from this, like,
Yeah.
he'd be a lot. Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about the next scene, which is essentially when like Vader does end up besting him, and then Kylo asks Valum where Mortis is, and Valum calls it the well of the living force, the source of the galaxy's birth. Valum says that Kylo isn't worthy, and then Kylo just retaliates by like draining.
Oh,
Valum
that's
and
why
killing
he kills him.
him.
Oh,
But I don't
Oh.
like that.
yeah. I like the other way he killed him because there was no context to it. It was just like
But-
I'm fucking Kylo Ren. I'm gonna
But
steal
either
your life
way,
force,
I don't
bro.
like it. I just feel like and it's also very weird. It's like
Yeah.
he taught him this power, and then he uses immediately, and he's like, "Well, now I'm an expert, and I can kill the person who like taught
Yeah.
me how to use
Yeah,
it."
but
Yeah.
yeah, but it kind
I
of
think it's because of his rage. Like he just
Yes,
doesn't
he
even.
has rage
yeah,
issues.
he has rage
No,
issues, so he
but,
doesn't
like-
even like.
But like, okay, so in this way,
Thinking.
I kind of agree with Sawa, because in this way, it's like Valum directly like enrages him, like provokes him,
yeah.
and then him getting killed that way, it's kind of weird now. Because like the other way, it's like from what we had it last time, it was like he turns on him because he doesn't need him, and we were assuming that Valum was like all in on like
All powerful.
like
Oh,
we were trying
Sorry.
we were trying to say like Valum was like all in on being his master or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he turns on him. But here it's like he like directly provokes him and then just dies really like with the same power.
that's a
I
good
don't know.
point. No, that's a good point, Chris. No, that's definitely a good point. I like it because, okay, listen, when somebody does something so batshit crazy where they like kills somebody with no explanation, as a film watcher, that just gets my head, like, that just gets my brain going in terms of why, like in terms of motivation. I love that kind of shit. But the way that he does it here is definitely more in character with the way we've seen him in the other films.
That's true.
Like Force Awakens, he's literally an emo, petulant child, like with a lightsaber, right? And in The Last Jedi, the way he kills Snoke is very calculated, and he's just being an opportunist, basically. And then this one, it's more like kind of a meshing of the two scenarios,
right?
Where he's being an opportunist, but he's also being a petulant emo child. Like, that's an emo child thing to do.
There's also a third thing, which is like in the wake of losing to Vader in the Force vision, it's like he's now trying to prove that he is worthy.
That's a good point too.
Because like that whole thing was like essentially to show him that you're not as good as Vader was.
Right.
And so Saba, do you dislike the fact that he killed him or just the way that he killed him?
I think both. I just think it's very strange when like he is the last person of the Sith. This is the thing that you want to carry on, and it makes Kylo more self-serving than anything else. I think.
Yeah, I think it makes him self-serving. Yeah,
I would have been okay with him just leaving Valum, because like Valum was already kind of established, at least to my eyes, as this third party entity that doesn't really get involved.
Yeah.
So him just leaving him there, that's fine by me too. Like I get,
it's just like it's like how far is your anger issues that like literally anything sets you off? Like you need like he needs.
And I hate it when
like
villains kill somebody.
Like,
I hate it when villains kill
Villains
somebody
don't
just to
hug.
show power. Like that's the worst like type of villain in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know.
I think
kinda
I
agree.
agree.
With you.
I don't think he had to kill.
Yeah, I think he could have just left him there and like
He
you know
could have
just-
killed
the Sith
something else.
still lives.
I feel like he
no,
could have killed
wait.
something else, so it's like less, like more rage, less
You know what?
consequence.
You know what? This kind of sorry. One more point.
Yeah.
This is kind of Highlander-ish too.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm.
Like he kills the guy, and maybe he thinks that at some like he's taking. Plus Valum says when he's training him, he's like, the force that you drain becomes your force too.
Yeah.
So for him to take out a 7,000-year-old fucking Sith
That's
master,
probably why I don't like it as much.
Yeah.
because he's upping his power level.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Because it's not him graduating because he's character developing.
Right.
He's literally getting a MacGuffin to get stronger, right? You know what I mean?
Good point. Good point.
So there was a thing where it made me double back again for the fourth time.
Yeah.
Which was at the end of this movie, they needed to reset. Like, I think we all kind of agree that like this movie was supposed to reset the idea of Jedi and the Sith.
Yes.
And with Valum still being alive, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
Right.
That could.
So maybe he needed to die, but like not in this
But
way.
the thing is, Valum wasn't even a character we knew about until this movie
That's true.
as well. So they just
Right, but then-
introduced the
but then-
problem to get rid of it.
That's right. Yeah, I agree
Yeah.
with that. But the thing is, like, would the ending now lose power because now we know that like we've reborn, we've brought upon a rebirth, god damn it, to this like hierarchy of Jedi and Sith. But now there's still one loose end out there somewhere,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a,
If there
I
was-
don't know how I feel about
If there was
the
an
whole thing.
assurance that he's never gonna like interfere, that's one thing, right? He could just live off whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Anyways, moving on.
Just
Okay, so back to Coruscant. Team A lights the beacon as 3PO projects the hologram to the story. The story cuts to different locales.
oh, I like that. So they're all like receiving the messages and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And that's
so,
like, and that's kind of like the antithesis of Order 66.
It is.
It's just
yeah.
like all these. I mean, not exactly.
kind of
but-
reminds me of a New Year's Eve celebration or something.
Sure, right before a battle.
I like these because it
Yeah.
does show unity, and you know, you do get a sense of hope from these kind of scenes.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys felt about the
Rise of Skywalker when they all came back.
not just that, but whenever they do show a montage of like different worlds or different countries,
I
I
love that.
love that shit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I like that.
So I
Okay.
did like that stuff. The other thing I really liked about this is it's what's in the brackets is there are Bendu monks among these groups. Now the Bendu was that weird force animal that kind of like bison half moose thing that was in Star Wars Rebels. That was the
Oh.
Bendu.
Oh,
So this is calling back to a lot of the animated shit, and I've always been a real proponent of the fact that the Star Wars universe needs to be better intertwined in terms of its other media.
that's true.
So I love this.
Yeah.
And Christina and we did an episode on Sunday or on Sunday, right?
I don't know. Saturday, Sunday.
Irrelevant.
Weekends blur together.
Yeah, everything blurs together. For me.
But we did an episode on Sunday where we were talking about this new thing called Luminous that's coming from Lucasfilm. And it is this initiative to kind of blend all these different medias into one single cohesive narrative, which is really exciting and I'm really stoked for, right? So I like to see that there's other filmmakers that aren't afraid to kind of dip into the animated universe to kind of get something of value, you know?
Yep.
So
We see the signal reach a palace on Trandosha. Bosk, sitting like a sultan in his den of pleasures, turns angrily
I love
towards
this.
the hologram projected from his servant droid. Leia says, "Our voices will not be silenced." Bosk looks at a light coming from a red rock spire and clenches his fists, indicating he dislikes the First Order.
Yeah, who likes
I
the
love that
first order?
description.
I love it
Sitting
too.
like a sultan.
I love this. I love this.
That's
This
so funny.
this half snake, half man creature just surrounded by a harem of, I don't know whether it'd be human beings or whether it'd just be other Transdoshans.
It's Twi'lek. It's always Twi'leks.
Oh right,
Yeah.
Twi'leks.
that's
yes.
like the pleasure race.
Yes.
Apparently.
the pleasure. race.
I do like this idea that like we're seeing. Oh wait, I'll give you guys a second.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Go, continue with your
Oh shit.
continue some.
Den of pleasures.
Yeah, I was just saying
I
that I
love
do
this.
like this idea of her like Leia's voice speaking over and
Yep.
sort of uniting the
Yep.
galaxy, and I really do think like that. Not that we haven't seen Leia inside Last Jedi or Force Awakens be like this really cool character, but there was like there's so much more that I feel like she could have done,
Yeah.
and I felt like the thing
Yeah.
I like about this, and I understand with the Rise of Skywalker they maybe could have wanted to done stuff like this,
Right.
is really just showing her as a general and how she really like brings people together. Because she honestly, for me, is like like watching it was like one of my favorite characters, and sort of this idea that like there's this hologram that is reaching people. Like there's another scene where there's apparently like a boy and his sister they're watching, like somewhere near on Tatooine. And Leia's saying we can no longer live in the shadow of the First Order. We must step into the light. I just like this idea.
I
Yeah,
love
like
it.
that.
I love
like
it.
bringing the
I
galaxy
like the
And-
together.
message too. I like that.
And it finishes her arc beautifully,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because like okay, so not a lot of people read the books or whatever, but within the context of the books, after the Return of the Jedi, Leia's political career kind of starts to go downhill because people have figured out that she's the daughter of Darth Vader, and it kind of affects her political career, and she starts
Oh.
losing
that
opportunities.
makes sense.
Yeah,
That-
it does.
That would happen in the real world.
It would happen in the real world.
Yeah.
Not in
the
this
real
world
world,
anymore.
You can
Not
get,
anymore.
Okay, here's your campaign.
Yeah.
I was the princess of Alderaan that got blown up.
Yeah.
And now I'm all
For
alone.
real.
And I saved all
Also-
your lives.
also
real.
my
She's
father-
basically Hitler's daughter, though. I don't
Who-
know.
Who
I feel like
stopped
you can't,
Hitler?
I feel like
who
you can't
rose up
come
and
back-
stopped Hitler?
Yeah, but I feel like you can't come back from that one.
Yeah, but
I can
redeemed
see-
Hitler.
Yeah,
not-
No,
I
no,
can
it's more
understand why people
complicated.
think that way. I don't think it makes sense, but
Yeah.
I do know that people
Yeah,
are
yeah,
it
yeah.
like
happens.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
I
people,
like that idea for sure.
people
Yeah.
would exactly. It would impact the vote. Not everybody would believe it.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
people
I
would
agree.
see the real truth of what happened.
I agree.
But it would impact the vote, and like more people would
Yeah.
vote according to like the name
Yeah.
than like
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, no. I definitely like this because it carries that part of her arc to like completion,
Yeah.
where she's reuniting the galaxy,
Yeah.
and everybody's kind of just hanging on her every word. Like it, and also that goes back to Padme too, like 100%. Like this is a very Padme Amidala thing to do.
Oh yeah.
You know?
I didn't even think about.
I love
Even
that.
in the concept art, the room that she's in looks like the quarters that Padme had. I
Beautiful.
just noticed.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And I love Padme as a character.
She's fantastic.
And
fantastic.
Actually, what I really love about this is because most of Leia's arc, starting from after
Force
Awakens,
Yeah.
is her training Poe to take over her.
Yep.
When she can no longer do it, but that doesn't mean that she's not like the heart and soul of this army, because she'll always be like the symbol that this like resistance and the New Republic kind of like stands on. So it doesn't like, I like how this kind of like completion of her arc doesn't conflict with her passing on the mantle to somebody else, because no matter what, she'll always be the symbol.
Yeah.
Even though she's no longer like, she's like passing off leadership like
Yeah.
of like the logistics to somebody else. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So the transmission is cut halfway, and from other stuff that I've read, it's apparently Kylo using the dark side of the Force to kind of interrupt the power of this Jedi
Man,
Beacon?
he can stop live streams.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But no, it makes sense, right? Like if he's got, if he can control the dark side of the Force and the Jedi beacon is based on Force energy, then
He
it
just
makes
neutralizes
sense,
it.
right? Like it's really the only thing that will work is the Force. So the transmission gets cut halfway, and then there's a set piece on Benadin with Team B. So it's Rey, Poe, Chewie, and BB-8, and they're on like a sail, like a sail ship. They call it a razor sail.
Oh well, she was on a sail kind of ship in Rise.
That's true.
Yes, she was.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think this one's on water too because I've seen the art and it's actually on water. Oh, she was on a sail ship on water too.
No,
right.
she was on a sail ship.
Right.
On
Yeah,
grass.
I forgot. Well, no, there were the things in the desert look like sail ships
they
too,
do,
didn't
they
they?
do.
True,
Yeah,
true.
I thought so. And they're being chased by the Knights of Ren, listening to heavy metal in their Knife 9.
Listen to My Chemical Romance for sure, which I will not judge them for.
Come on, man, they're metal guys.
Yeah.
They're totally metal guys.
Yeah, they're the guys from Mad Max with the fucking guitar and the fucking flame coming out of the guitar.
Yeah.
That's definitely them.
Oh
and the
man.
goddamn Knife 9.
Yeah.
And they're like a screamo metal band too. They're not like the good kind of metal.
Yeah.
Not
So
System of a Down.
So the Knights of Ren catch up with Rey, Poe, and Chewie, and there's like this super crazy epic fight. Rey faces off against Hataska Ren. That's the leader of the Knights of Ren
Darksaber.
that carries the dark saber, and it's her lightsaber versus his dark saber. So double bladed versus single bladed.
That's awesome.
And then there's this amazing moment where Chewie is shooting the Knights of Ren with his bowcaster, and then Chewie grabs one of the Knights of Ren, throws him up in the air, and shoots him out of the sky like he was a fucking clay pigeon.
That's so awesome.
That
Yeah.
is, to me, that is like I would pay $20 just to see somebody like put that moment on the screen for 2 minutes. Like that's it.
Mhm.
Like that would be fucking amazing.
I think she kills all of them here, right? Or
Yeah.
like they kill all of them.
Yeah.
And I wanted to see Poe do some cool stuff too. Like he doesn't really fight like that often, you know?
I'm sure he did. Like
That's what I'm saying. Like in this scene would have been really cool to see.
yeah, I think people
See.
probably like I think the people who are reading these scripts are downplaying anybody else but Rey or Chewie or like the major characters.
Yeah.
I think Poe's a great character. I think he's
Yeah.
really cool as
I like
shit.
Poe too.
Right? But I don't think he gets enough for like I don't think he gets the respect he deserves, that's for sure.
And
In terms of the creative team, that's for sure. But
I like his like tension between him and Leia. I kind of like that.
Yeah, me too.
yeah, it's good.
But
But
what
she
ends
sees
up
him as like hot-headed.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense too because he was learning how to be a leader there. But in terms of this scene, Rey is being overpowered by Hataska Ren, and she feels the dark side creeping in. So here we see like a parallel of something that happened in Rise that she does use the lightning
Yep.
force again, or
Yep.
the force lightning, and ends up killing him. And during the fight, she has visions of some sort, and she ends up killing the Knights of Ren.
And she shoots him in the face with
I
force
like
lightning.
that. I like
That's-
that.
She shoots him in the
That
face.
is so interesting to me. And that
Um,
doesn't, I don't know. Here's the thing. It's not that I don't like it, but I just feel like it's not Rey. Like, it's not the
Mm.
Rey that we know.
Mhm.
And if again, this is the third movie. If this was being introduced earlier, I would maybe be more on board.
Is this Grey Jedi Rey?
Well, I always
I
felt
don't
like
know if
she
it's
had
even-
this struggle with the dark side,
Yeah, I
and I
think
wanted
so
to see
too.
the darkness like take
Yeah, me too.
over. I
Me
did
too.
want to see that.
Me
So
too.
for me, this is something that was kind of missing.
The problem is that like so essentially what's going on here is there's a problem she can't overcome and she reaches for the dark side. The problem here is she's never had this. Like she's never had a problem she couldn't overcome before. And I think that like if this was introduced, like I know the perfect place for this to be introduced was when Kylo was beating the shit out of her in the finale scene of Awakens. Like this should have been there. Like not the Force lightning, but like the kind of the inception of this scene.
You're right.
Which would have been like she's using she has this like uncanny ability to use the Force, but that also means she can tap into the dark side when she needs it. But the problem was it was never like there wasn't a challenge enough for her to have like to like actually needed to tap onto the dark side.
Right.
And I think they should have done it earlier.
I didn't
agree
read
with
it that
Salva.
she tapped into it. I read it as it creeped in and she couldn't like overcome it, kind of thing.
Well,
It
no,
just
the
happened.
problem is that like her instincts went to the dark side because she needed extra power to defeat
I
that
also
dark
I
side.
also would like this because like she's not properly trained, so then it
Yeah.
would make sense if she accidentally taps into
Yeah.
like the wrong type of power at
Yeah,
some
yeah.
points in time.
Right, they should have done that
Yeah.
earlier. Though, in
She's
my
like a
opinion.
firecracker.
Although,
like she can't.
Yeah.
although like Force Lightning is like a weird one for me because like here's my problem. Darth Maul never had Force Lightning, and he was like one of the best.
He was
Sith
dark as a motherfucker.
Yeah, and it's like okay, like I don't want to get into like Force science, like whatever, but like my interpretation of like Force Lightning was it was gifted to those who were like trained for years and years. Like
Yeah.
Count Dooku having Force Lightning
Yes.
was already a surprise because
Yes.
it was like he started off as a Jedi, whatever.
That shocked the shit out of me when I saw it in the prequels. I
Yeah,
was
me
like,
too.
what?
Me too. Like yeah.
Yeah.
But like you can kind of forgive it because he's like an old man, right? Like,
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm not against this idea. I agree it should have happened earlier,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yo, this next scene gets me.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel
You
about
take
this
it
at
then.
all. Okay, so apparently Rey is conflicted and tells Poe that she had no choice. Poe says, "It's okay, Jedi's do that, right?" this is how guys comfort girls all the time. Anyway,
Yeah.
It's true.
Wait, you guys are complicated. What do you want us to say?
Oh my lord. Okay. Anyway, Rey knows who the knights are, but is unsure how she knows them. She tells Poe, "You can't go where I'm going." Poe asks why, and Rey replies, "The Resistance needs him." And so then they note that Poe has a crush on Rey throughout the script, which is interesting to me. Rey keeps pushing for Poe to leave, going so far to mind trick him, but Poe resists. There's back and forth with mind trick, and ultimately Rey kisses Poe,
Whoa.
causing him to submit to the mind trick and leave.
I don't like that.
Okay, here's the thing.
That's weird.
Poe would not do that to his boy Finn. Let's be honest.
Oh, God.
Poe wouldn't.
No.
No.
To be honest, yeah.
No,
No.
Finn is his friend. He would not do that to his friend.
Yeah, but Ray wasn't
Okay,
into
I
him.
don't-
Ray wasn't into Finn.
No, but Poe would not do that. Also,
And in this
for
movie,
me-
Finn's gonna have Rose, and Finn and Rose already have
I
some
do think Poe is
chemistry.
very attractive. I don't know why I'm going down this angle. That's just a statement. that I have.
Qualifying? You're qualifying Poe for
But I
Rey?
feel like Finn. I feel like
Hilarious.
Poe and Rey. I like the relationship they had in Rise
Yeah.
of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't think there has to be a romance there.
Yeah.
I don't mind that Rey is a Jedi that can fall in love. I do think the whole celibacy thing. I'm not totally
I'm not a
behind
fan
that,
of that. Yeah.
for the Jedi.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
It's just
that-
funny that all the guys would have fallen in love with her at like some point in time.
Yeah, that's also
Yeah.
the other thing, right? It's just like
Damn,
she's,
look at
She's
that
just so-
girl.
she's just
She's
so-
cute. She's
She
cute.
is
She's
cute.
powerful.
She-
she's smart.
She's real cute. I'll give
it's
you that.
it's one thing for all the guys to fall in love with her or have a crush on her, but one for each movie is weird.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like okay, well, he's just like
Well, you
it's like
remember-
Blonde girls. What's going on?
I actually kind of like that now.
I hate
Yeah,
it.
it's
Well,
It's like a revenge on James Bond.
You
It's a
remember?
revenge.
You remember the old criticism of the original trilogy, right? Was that Mon Mothma and Leia were the only women in the galaxy, right?
Yeah.
So like every dude was coming at her like a fucking steam train
True, true.
because like what are you gonna do, right?
Oh
Like-
yeah, Lando. When Lando first thought, he was like, "Damn."
They're like,
girl.
oh shit, a woman! Holy fuck, what the hell's going on
even
here?
even her brother.
Okay. Yep. There was that too.
Oh, and Aunt Beru, Mon Mothma, and Leia.
Well, you know
That
what
was
would
it.
happen? They would just start sleeping with each other. Some of the guys.
Exactly. They're like, shit, we gotta start repopulating the galaxy so we can fucking have some more chicks. Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I don't
Um,
know. Yeah, I'm not. I don't know how I feel
yeah.
about this. It's hard for me to picture it because I feel like it feels like a brother.
It sounds like a good comedic beat and also a good
I
relationship
don't think this is
beat.
I don't know,
comedic though, because the
I
way
don't
the
want it to
scene
be a
is.
relationship. Yeah, I don't.
But the way
like
the
it.
scene is, it's sad. Like she's telling him to leave, and again he keeps saying no, and then
Yeah,
finally he
you're
leaves.
right,
It's
you're right.
definitely not comedy.
Yeah.
It's basically like what Finn did, or Rose did to Finn, I guess.
Sure.
And, yeah, and
But in the original notes, it also says that Poe kind of acknowledges what happens in a very like matter of fact kind of way, like Han Solo would, right? Like it's just like almost like,
But the thing I like about Poe is like, yeah, he's Han Solo-esque, but he's not Han Solo. Like, you know what I mean? There's
Yeah.
like a distinct vibe, and yeah, I just don't think that Rey like
is-
needs that in that movie.
But
this movie.
isn't he now Han Solo because of the whole drug runner thing and all that shit now?
Yeah, but he still
that
is
didn't happen
different.
in this movie.
No,
He's
not
never,
this one.
He's never really felt like a Han. Like if you were,
Yeah.
if somebody asked me to make that connection, I would make that connection. But
Yeah.
I would never
Yeah.
come to that conclusion on
I
my
got
own.
a Han Solo-esque vibe, but I didn't picture Rey as like a Han Solo girl,
Like
Well,
that's true,
liking a
too.
Han Solo.
liking a Han Solo.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was okay with Rey not having a love interest
Yeah,
at
I'm
all.
fine.
She never
Yeah.
should have had
Yeah.
one at all.
Listen. There needs to stop being a formulaic approach to creating relationship dynamics between male and female characters. Like they don't have to have sex. They don't have to fall in love.
Mm.
Like they can just be friends.
I think
Like,
that's why I don't like
that
it.
works,
I think that's why I don't like
you
it
know?
because Finn and Poe are basically just raised friends in the new one, and
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
kind of like makes it so that they both liked her, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Yeah.
You don't need that. I don't want, anything to come between my boys' friendship.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
I definitely think guys and girls can be friends.
I definitely
I'm
think
one of
guys and
those
girls
people.
can be friends.
Yeah.
Well, I always hear people say like, "Oh, it's not possible somebody likes somebody and whatever."
Like, those
and
people
like,
are dumb.
yeah,
So sorry if you say that. I apologize.
I hate hearing that. So so as someone who's friends with some guys, I like the idea of Poe just being her friend.
Yeah,
So.
I don't see
Yeah.
anything wrong
Well,
with
if
that.
if this room is any indication of what the fan base would have reacted to, it's that everybody would have been divided on this topic.
Yeah.
I think.
100%.
And
Yeah.
like, I think a lot of people would have disliked it.
Especially because they just met, like in the like they really they
Yeah.
had their introduction.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, like look at us, 2 girls, 2 guys, we're all just friends.
Yeah, exactly.
True. But
Although Frank's giving me googly eyes
Whoa.
across the room, like.
whoa.
So, anyways, so
Jesus Christ.
Ray takes the knife 9, turns off the rock music, and so she hijacks it. Second hijacking of the entire
Yes.
movie. These guys fucking Grand Theft
Listen.
Autoing the fucking galaxy.
I
over here.
like people stealing ships. This
Yeah.
works.
Me too.
It's very Star
it's
Wars.
like very life
it's very
or death
rebel.
situation.
That's it. It's very
Yeah.
rebel,
Yeah.
right?
It's
It's
very
literally rebel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like that is the epitome of rebel.
Yeah.
Is stealing shit.
And the
Love
end
it.
of the world, you would be doing that.
I
It's
love that this is
Yeah.
the
essentially,
second
like,
one
the
in
end
this
of the
movie that
world.
they
Yes.
stole. Like the
This-
DMV's like, again? You lost another one?
This should be a running thing in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Rebel stealing ships.
It's funny.
That happened a lot in Clone Wars too.
Yeah, totally. Did.
Anyways, so yeah, Poe, Chewie, BB-8, they all take the Falcon
Yeah,
back
it's
to the
Falcon.
stolen Eclipse Star
Yeah.
Star Destroyer.
Yep.
Eclipse Star Destroyer?
Yep.
Is that a different?
An Eclipse class
Oh,
Star
okay,
Destroyer.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You would think they would have like a remote autopilot that they could turn on and like prevent that from happening too.
Yeah. yeah.
They have the club for a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
That's a total dated reference too for me.
Yeah.
I know
did
what
get
you're
that.
talking
Like,
about.
what the fuck's a club?
I know what
What's
you're
a club?
talking about.
It was a steering wheel device in the 80s. You just
Oh yeah,
you
yeah,
lock
yeah,
it up
yeah.
you lock
I
up your
didn't know
steering
that.
wheel.
Oh, I knew that.
I didn't
I
know.
Oh, you
knew
did?
that.
I didn't know what it
Okay.
was called.
And
Though.
then they also
Okay.
had the shoe. You could
Fuck,
put it
my-
on
my
your,
friends
your
still use that. They look
wheel
like
or
cars.
whatever.
No,
right?
the shoe is what the government does
yeah,
to
yeah,
you.
yeah. The government.
The
does that.
government does you when you don't pay your tickets,
Yeah.
like the Ontario government. Like they'll come put a boot.
Ooh.
A
No, it's
boot.
not a shoe,
Yeah,
it's
it
a
was
boot on your car.
okay.
Because they did it to Homer, and Homer had to drive
Yeah.
wreck his
He
car.
fucking drove it.
Remember?
Anyway.
He drove the car.
I'm pretty sure you
I love
can't. Like, I'm pretty sure that can't happen.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because he wanted to get a drink. Oh man.
Anyway, so Hux.
Yeah.
So Hux, go ahead, Sam.
Oh, Hux contacts Kylo as he exits Remnicor's orbit. He warns him that the Resistance tried to overcome the Coruscant blockade. And Kylo's like, man, I already knew that. I'm the one who stopped it. Because he says
You
it like
dummy.
that. Yeah, he says it like that, right? And then Hux kind of
Hux is the worst intelligence agent ever.
He really is. He's like, bro, we all know that already. I don't know how he got so far. Definitely nepotism. I think his father was
He
something.
killed his father, dude.
Hux killed his
Hux
dad.
killed his father.
that right?
Yeah.
It's
He
like-
kills him in.
How do you know that?
He kills him in canon.
Oh.
It's
like
like
in
a
the past books.
requirement to
Yeah.
serve in this like
Yeah.
order. You have to do that.
Do you think Domhnall Gleeson feels bad about how he's
No, I think
set
Donald
back
Gleason's-
red-haired people for like ever?
No, he
Wait,
was also
what?
he was also in Harry Potter, and he was Charlie.
Oh, yeah, that's
which
right.
really like set
That's
red-haired
right.
people
About
ahead.
time? Have you?
That's
have you
right.
read
I love
about
About
Oh, and he was in
Time.
Ex
Christine's
Machina
favorite
too.
movie.
Yeah.
And he was in Ex Machina.
Yes,
Ex
and
Machina.
so was
Yeah.
Oscar Isaac.
Yeah.
And that was
Yeah.
the best movie ever.
So good. Ex Machina is fantastic.
But yeah, Hux urges Kylo to use whatever power he has acquired to intimidate the Resistance, and then Kylo just says like, "Snoke was right about you. Without faith, you only serve yourself." Like, come on, like he's just, you know what I mean? Like,
he's
he
such
deserves-
an
he-
asshole.
he
fire
deserves
him.
this.
You
He
are now
deserves
the
this.
Supreme Commander. You can fire him. You can demote
you
him.
can kill him.
Like legit. Like
you don't have an
stopping-
issue killing people.
But part of me thinks he likes like that argument. Like,
I'm telling you,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
That's why there's all this.
I'm telling you, they have
fan
like
art. They have a
yeah.
little
Oh,
relationship going
Jesus
on.
Christ.
I'm telling you, those two have a thing. for
That's the
each
only
other.
reason to keep him alive.
It's a
Nothing
marital
else makes
dispute.
sense.
Yeah.
or
So-
they have to act like they don't
So
like
it's
each
like a
other. in front of each other.
BDSM thing? Is that what you're trying to
No,
say?
I don't know.
No,
Oh, man.
everyone's saying that they secretly like each other, but they don't want to admit it.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
very
God.
playground of
That's
them.
weird.
But anyway, so what's his name? Kylo ends up going to Mortis, and that kind of
Yeah.
ends that scene, and we go to a new scene.
Yeah. Leia goes to a smoky cabaret club owned by Lando.
I'm
would.
down. I'm going.
What?
I want to go there.
Lando would.
Yeah,
I would dress in
Alright.
he
pink.
would. On the planet Aliforn, that's a huge, I don't know, a misfire on a planet naming for me.
Yeah.
They say that it's described as like an ode to Indy visiting Marion and Raiders at the beginning at the
Oh,
bar
okay.
on top of
I like that.
on the top of Everest or
Yeah, I
whatever.
kind of like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And she's asking Lando for help to join the fight, and he's not about it. She wants him to help because he knows smugglers, and then Lando reveals Lando reveals that he promised Han that he would take care of her in case of something happening. So, and then he takes her to a docking bay and says she needs to leave since he can't protect her. Leia keeps urging him to join the fight. Lando, we won a war once already. What good did that do? He kisses her on the forehead and declines.
I feel like
Oh,
he would have
Lando.
locked her up at this point to try to protect her.
Locked her up?
No one's locking up
Ooh.
fucking General Organa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think that should happen, but I feel like
But that's kind
if
of
he
a-
really wanted to keep his promise to Han,
That's
what
kind of
he
an
would've
echo
done.
back to
Yeah,
to
Empire Strikes
Cloud
Back.
City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it's within Lando's personality to
Good
do
pull.
that. So I don't
Good
know.
pull. I like that.
But I do think it's like obviously Lando's gonna like do something in the end. Like,
Well, if you guys remember,
Yeah.
like Vader did show up there and gave him no choice, right? Like he didn't betray anyone.
No.
But yeah,
that scene was so good.
wait, I think you forgot that this one like minor point that Lando
Sure.
says most of his clientele was First Order, which is actually
Oh, shit, I
which is
did miss
actually
that.
really interesting and really
Yeah, I
cool.
did miss that.
Because like yeah, like it really gives you the sense that like not everybody's on the same page as or like the Republic or the new Republic.
also, like
Lando
like
just
that.
lives there, right?
I
like,
like
Yeah.
that.
like Lando
like
just
Lando's just trying to make money. Like
Yeah.
he has a cabaret club that it happens to be like First Order people like cabaret a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, Lando really reminds me of what's that guy's name from Mando? God, I had his name in my head.
Oh, Grief
Oh,
Karga.
Yeah, he really
Oh,
reminds
yeah,
me
yeah.
of Grief Karga.
Yeah, that
Oh,
makes sense.
when
yeah.
they cast Grief Karga, they were definitely like
trying to go Lando,
Let's
right?
go Lando.
Yeah,
Yeah, that makes sense.
I love that.
100%.
I love that.
they have the same smooth kind of delivery, the cadence, the whole nine. Yeah, without a doubt, dude.
I
without
think
a
the
doubt.
only reason they don't lock up Leia in this scene, he kisses her on the forehead and declines instead. I think it's because it's not the 70s.
What?
I think the audience would have
Okay.
reacted badly
Yeah,
if they
everybody-
tried to do that.
Yeah, because that's
Oh.
bad
yeah,
writing.
Yeah, it would have been
yeah.
uncomfortable. The audience
Yeah.
would have been really
No,
uncomfortable.
and Lando's
Yeah,
not
that
gonna.
wouldn't work.
Lando's definitely not it's the greater good for you. Like it's like they're friends. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
old buddies.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be like.
But I don't know. I feel like if it was the 70s, he would have. But yeah, anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, then the scenes that are coming up next is so Rey ends up heading to Mortis, and at the same time, Kylo arrives as well. Perfect timing.
Oh, you missed a big part.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
so there's no stars around Mortis where it's located, and then her ship power suddenly dies. Now this is an echo back to Clone Wars
Mhm.
because this is exactly what happened to Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka. When they got close to Mortis, the power in their ship died and they crashed.
Or-
So
I don't like that because it's too hopeless. Like, how the heck are you
no,
gonna?
no. The planet had an effect on the electronics in the
Oh,
ship.
okay.
Yeah, because it's
Okay.
not.
Yeah.
It's not in the universe. It's like this. It's like this
It's like
side
this-
universe
literally.
sort of thing.
Okay.
It's like a
That is
side door.
interesting.
Yeah.
And then while that's going
Like a
on, there's
fade.
like the final battle at Coruscant happening, and this is kind of like which I do like because they say it's kind of like an ode to Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Where you had this grand battle
Yeah.
Space
on
battle.
Endor, you had the space battle, yeah. So you have all that going on, and just randomly Chewie is flying an X-wing. Let's just throw that in there.
And remember,
Does he fit? Who knows?
remember, we read that
I don't think so.
Poe is on the ground, sees Chewie flying the X-wing. He's literally blowing TIE fighters
Yeah.
out of the sky, left, right, and
Damn,
center.
Chewie, love that
And then
guy.
Poe's reaction is, "That's a hell of a
That's a
pilot,"
hell of a
just
pilot.
like
Finn.
just like Finn said about Poe
Yeah.
in Force Awakens. Cool callback. I like
Mhm.
that. I think
No,
that's
and
good.
it doesn't really undermine Poe as like the best
No,
pilot.
doesn't at all.
Not in the same way that like the Rise did. I wasn't a big fan of the whole when they were like light speed jumping and they were like, oh, like Rey could have done it better than you, and then Poe was like, well, she's not here.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like let's establish that Poe's the best pilot because that's been
Yep.
his whole thing. His entire identity up to this
Yep.
point.
Yep.
And it's like this is the better way of doing it. It's like he gets this like humble check,
Yep.
right? But he also doesn't like like nobody's saying that like Chewie's better than him. It's just I don't know. I like that a lot better.
Not only that, but Chewie's been a co-pilot of the Falcon as long as we've known him, right?
And he's like really old.
But to see
really
him
old
get in the cockpit of something and be so effective and efficient and be such an agency of change is really fucking cool to see.
Yeah.
Really,
And
an agent of
it's
change,
about
not an
time.
agency of change. Agent of change.
It's about time too. Like
Yeah.
Chewie needed his own spotlight.
Yeah,
for
really
once.
love that. Really
Okay,
love that beat.
And while that's happening, Rose gets captured and tortured, which is reminiscent of Han's torture.
Yep.
In Empire Strikes Back, and she's defiant and eventually is able to escape.
I don't mind this. There's just a lot going on in the script. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot
like-
going on. I'm thinking of pacing. I'm thinking of story. I'm thinking of like everything.
Oh,
That's
it was
happening.
Hux. It was Hux that captures Rose. I don't think you said that.
I think you're right. This is like too much going on. Like
Yeah.
there's this hopeless situation with Rey in space, and then there's a fight, and then something with Rose, and we have to go get her.
Yeah, there just seems to be like
There's a
'cause I'm-
lot.
The
There's a lot.
3-pronged battle is like a tried and true Star Wars thing.
Yeah.
And I think they could have done it. Rose being captured, like the only way I would be behind that is if it meant something, right?
Yeah.
Like if she gave up a
or if she like
piece
got
of
something that
vital
was, like,
information. Yeah. If it was just let her do something, yeah, like she could have been doing.
because she's already
other
doing something.
things.
I think a lot with being with Finn on the grounds of
Yeah,
Coruscant.
yeah.
But yeah,
I think they were trying to turn her into a female Han. I really do because
I
Fine.
didn't get that. I
well,
don't know.
do
She's
you
so
remember the
different.
beat from the last thing? Like you remember that whole thing about like when Finn says I'll take the ground forces, and Rose was like, no, I'll do it, and I'll let Finn think that he did it, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like the guys who so the podcast that I listened to where they were kind of reading the script and detailing it, or the guys that read the script and they were detailing it, they were saying that they were trying to give Rose a lot more to do and to kind of make her a more vital part of the story. And they were trying to kind of give her a little bit of a Han Solo vibe, without a doubt. Like that was their read on it. And these guys are really, really, really passionate Star Wars fans.
I agree with them wanting to give her more of a vital role, and I do like that because I liked her character.
Yeah.
She's not Han at all.
No,
Like,
I know
that's
that.
Not who.
No, I know
Wait,
that.
are you trying to
but-
compare it to the Battle of Endor? Because Han wasn't like I feel like Han's role in that was very integral. Isn't
Well, okay, so the way that I see it is this: they're not. No one's ever going to be Han again. Like that's just not going to
Yeah.
happen, right? But what I'm saying is that they kind of tried to give her some of the same beats that they would give
Oh,
Han.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of feel like. I don't know, but that was kind of my read.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw Poe as more like a Han character than Rose, but
Yeah, but Poe's
I
too.
see Rose like I see her looking
No,
up to the trio in this movie.
Yeah.
Like she kind of wants to be like them,
Yeah.
so maybe she'll.
I
pick up-
thought Frank, you were trying to say was like for this battle scene, like her sort of place in the battle was equivalent to Han's in.
No,
in
I'm just
Endor?
trying to. They're trying to give her character beats that
Oh,
are
okay.
very
Oh, okay,
similar
okay.
to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt about that.
Mhm.
So, anyways, we jump back to Mortis, and Rey climbs an icy peak and reaches a plateau and finds statues of robed ancients who are not Jedi. And she has a vision taking her back to the desert of Jakku. And she hears a child's voice scream. Rey turns and sees herself. Ooh, dun
I
dun
kind
dun.
of like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
And this
scene.
is kind of so like in this one we know that she's not Palpatine's daughter.
Yeah.
The scene is really interesting because she's basically seeing this thing that she probably like blocked in her mind, right?
Mhm.
Which is finally that scene where she's being dragged by her mother and father. They let her go and leave. Rey's mother turns back and runs towards Rey, but is stopped. And then her father's like, "We can't. It's too dangerous." And the mom's like, "Wait here. We'll come back." And Rey kind of says, "Why did no one come back?" So that gives me this idea that like, okay, they knew something was up with her. They knew that she was displaying powers of the Force, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because if they were kind of nobodies in the terms of like nobody in terms of the Star Wars universe,
Yeah.
then they must have known.
Oh, I kind of
Oh,
like that. She gets
yeah.
abandoned because of her powers. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
Well, they kind of they poke a hole in that too by they kind of shake the foundation of that idea when they reveal that Kylo was hunting Rey and her parents and all that. So you could analyze that as being like they were reacting to her having powers in a very negative way, kind of like we've seen with a lot of the a lot of the younger X-Men
discrimination,
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're
But-
protecting her.
Or they're protecting her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
yeah.
from what I thought, like the Knights of Ren were conducting a purge to rid the universe of Force-sensitive kids.
Yeah, Snoke asked them to go out
Yeah.
into the universe and kill and basically find anybody who could threaten his power. Yeah.
When Rey was young. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which was weird because how much older?
Yeah, it feels like they're
was
around the same
Kylo?
Not that
age,
many years,
so,
I don't
yeah.
think. But I think that they're retroactively trying to change. Like they're gonna push the idea that he's a lot older now.
I don't like that because he's not.
Yeah,
not.
it's kind of
No,
weird.
he's not.
Yeah.
No, he's not. That's for sure.
So Kylo at the same time is on Mortis. He's walking through the woods and he sees like this cabin with smoke coming from the chimney, coming out of the chimney, and he watches a younger version of himself approach the house, and it's like this vision that he's also having. So this is where you kind of get the feeling that this place is very force sensitive or force rich, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like imbued, like
Yeah,
it's strange.
it's everywhere. So and then the door opens and you see a younger Han Solo open the door for Ben. And I want to take a moment and the kind of like compare this to the battle of Endor, and how like if you guys remember like Luke's like scenes with his father and Palpatine were like slower compared to the rest of the Battle of Endor.
Oh yeah.
And I love that this also takes a beat and
Yeah.
slows down
Yeah.
Yeah.
like quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
You need moments like this.
Yeah.
You really do. Yeah. Yeah. So Han says, "What are you doing?" Ben says, "That's not my name anymore." Han, your mother can't see you anymore. Not like this. Ben says, "I'm not coming back. There's a greater destiny for me." Han says, "They're lies, son. Empty promises. You have everything you need right here." Ben says, "What? You? Her? My master says I have unequal power. Neither of you understand." Han says, "Your mother understands more than anyone." Ben says, "He sent me away." Han says, "To learn, to grow." And Ben's like, "I have grown." And then Han responds, "Your mother loves you." And Ben says, "She's afraid of me."
This sounds
I
like,
like
every
that,
like
yeah.
teenage conversation that
Yeah.
someone has with their parents.
Yeah.
Like, you don't
Yeah.
get me, mom.
yeah.
I like that they humanize Kylo right after he kills Torvalum. Like right after we
Yeah.
see him
Yeah.
basically carry out one of the more brutal killings in his line of killings.
It also
Yeah.
shows you this
Yeah.
that Leia maybe made a mistake of sending him away,
Yeah.
because you can
Yeah.
see how much that really, like, being sent away, what that meant to him. Like that fact, it's like, you were scared of me, you sent me away because
Mhm.
you didn't trust me.
Yeah.
And I wonder how different or how it could have turned out if she just didn't. And I know she did it out of fear, like she was trying to do what's best.
Right.
But
Or she didn't think that she could train him to use his powers for good.
yeah,
Well, this is a good thing. Not a good thing, but this is an interesting idea because Luke was scared of him too. So everybody's been scared of him
Right.
and only reacted to him out of fear.
Yeah.
Right? You can't feel love when people scare you, dude. It just or
When
when
you scare
you're
people.
scaring people,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I
You just
get
can't
that.
do
I
it.
get
No,
that.
and
Yeah.
and like honestly, like if you really think about the power dynamic here, the more people push you away, the more you're driven towards
Yeah.
like your grandfather, who everybody already hates, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
it's like it's this thing where it's like, oh, like nobody understands me. My grandfather was the exact same way,
Right.
Yeah,
and he's
that
like,
makes sense.
and he's gone now, but I can relate to him more than anyone now,
Right.
right? And no
Right.
matter how like whatever anyone's intentions are, like that's the direction you're being pushed.
Right.
And I actually really like this is a way more organic way of exploring Ben Solo's like his backstory, because instead of like Han Solo showing up in that scene in Rise, where most fans were just asking like how is this happening? Is this the Force?
Yeah.
Right? Like you were distracted. You're just trying to be like, what, like how's a thing here? But here it's like nobody's questioning that. Everybody's
Yeah.
focused on this scene,
It's just a
and
flashback.
you can just you can just focus on, and it's like and the fact that it's happening on Mortis,
Yeah.
it just explains everything, right? And it's like it's such a more organic way
Yeah, this makes a
to
lot more sense.
yeah.
Do you guys notice nobody's asked him what the fuck happened to your face yet?
no.
He's got
He
all the
hasn't-
Mandalorian armor on his face now.
Well, but no, who's seen him? Nobody's seen him.
Is he-
Hux, I guess.
is-
Other
Hux has
people.
seen him.
Well, then maybe
Yeah, but
someone
Hux-
did, or maybe people are just like,
they might
man,
have
he's
skipped
going-
over that.
Yeah.
Maybe
they
Force Ghost
skipped over
Han.
it.
No,
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm sure Hux was just like, oh, so you joined the Knights of Ren in their band, eh? Going hardcore. But no, like, nobody of importance really have seen
I'm
him.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Hux would be afraid to say something.
Yeah, that
anyway.
too.
Yeah, I think most
Yeah.
people wouldn't like say anything. to him
Yeah.
just out of
It's like,
fear.
did you get
So-
a new
Boss,
haircut?
what happened to your face?
Yeah.
No,
So-
it's like, boss, do something different? Get a haircut? Or wait for him to bring it up?
Yeah.
So the scene ends with Han asking Ben for his lightsaber, and then cuts to Kylo killing Han in TFA.
Yeah. That's
Nice little
powerful.
poetic kind of mirrored image. Kylo begins to climb the icy mountain, and then we cut back to the Battle of Coruscant, and then we go back to Kylo.
Yeah, Kylo. So there's a lot jumping around. That's what I was saying. Like I do like it.
Yeah,
Pacing is something hard to
Yeah.
do when you have these like kind of different beats, but
Yeah,
it
there's a
is good
lot.
that there's like a slower version of what's going on.
yeah.
But yeah, Kylo now confronts Rey at the top of the mountain where the huge temple is, and he says, "Hey, the Force." He doesn't say "Hey," by the way. He says, "The Force is strong."
Hey,
Hey, Ray, how's it going?
Sup,
Um,
girl?
But anyway, he's like, "The Force is strong in this place. Can you feel it?" And Ray says, "You're in pain beneath that mask." And Kylo says, "Get-"
finally, an acknowledgement of the mask.
Yeah, Kylo says, "Get out of my head. You won't like what you find."
Oh, that's a cool
I
line.
love that.
Dirty.
That's a cool
Love
line.
that.
Stuna's like, "Damn,
It's
I'm
like,
into
it's
this."
full of leather and whips.
Ray and
Ooh.
Kylo begin to use the Force against each other, and Kylo says, "I'm stronger than Anakin Skywalker, stronger than his son." Ray says, "You're still afraid." Kylo says, "Of what? You?" And Ray says, "Of what you become. The dark side has left you empty, a husk." Kylo says, "I don't have to be alone with the power of of this place. We could rule the galaxy as the ancients did, the dark side and the light side."
Nice.
So
Like
that's
it.
interesting because he's not saying
Yep.
come to the dark side. He's saying stay as you are.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
also, honestly, like you can say what you want about like Poe or Kylo or whatever. This implies some sort of weird intimacy to me. It does. Like asking someone to rule a galaxy
Yeah.
for you
Yeah.
is pretty like
It's codependent.
It's a pretty big
It's a
step.
very
Yeah.
codependent idea, right? And I like this because it takes us back again to the story of Mortis in Clone Wars, right? It like, does Kylo become the new brother? Does Rey become the new sister? And who stands in the middle? And that question just fucking makes my mind explode
Yeah.
because is it Force Ghost Luke? Is it fucking Anakin?
Mm.
Like, who is it, right? Because it can
If
go
it-
in so many
yeah,
different
if it's
directions if
anybody-
it did happen.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
it's anybody, like if we're gonna speculate on that,
Yeah,
Anakin. I mean, he's the chosen
think
one,
so.
and he's on both sides.
I think
right?
so. Yeah. And
Yeah.
plus, the father asked him to replace him,
Yeah.
and he's in the middle.
Yeah, and
in
not-
Clone Wars,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. yeah.
So what a
God, that's
poetic
such a
ending
good
it would
ending.
be.
Yeah,
That's
like
such
that.
a good ending.
Yeah,
Like
it was
his
so good.
It's his lineage, his
Yeah.
legacy, and him,
Yeah.
and like the opposite of his lineage.
Yeah.
That's so good.
But we can't end it without them not fighting. So
So then
Yeah.
Ray tells him, you still think I'd join after what you did to my family?" And Kylo's taken aback. Ray says, "Were you going to tell me here? Weaken me with the truth? I know what you did. Deep down, I've always known." And she says, "My parents didn't sell me from drinking money. They were hiding from you." And Kylo
Yeah.
says, "So you remember."
Yeah.
But like, how old was Kylo? Because then like
Yeah,
Kylo was like
that's
this
weird
little,
as hell.
he's like a little 8-year-old being like, "I'm gonna kill you."
I'm a
guys."
kid.
I could buy it if he was
I'm
like
like,
12. Like I feel
I
like
think-
they train their people pretty young.
But then, but if you
and
look
she
at
was
the-
like 8
if we look
or
at the
something.
flashback
Yeah.
inside the Last Jedi when like Luke was going to kill him,
Yeah.
he was old.
he was older as well.
Yeah.
Like he was probably like, I would say they're probably like 20-ish.
yeah.
yeah, I think they're trying to sell the idea that he's in his 30s. Like that.
I don't
that's
know. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's
weird.
where it's
Yeah.
hitting me, man.
It is. It's
where it's
not.
hitting me.
That would have bugged me.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It
It's a
doesn't
good
sell. It
story
doesn't
beat.
float.
It,
Like
ma-
it
it
doesn't
makes more
float.
sense for his character if he's younger, like in
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
late teens
Yeah.
or early
Like
20s.
it would have been cool if they set it up, but it wasn't set up right, man. Like
it wasn't because in TFA the first time he takes off his mask, he's a fucking baby. He
Yeah.
literally looks like a goddamn baby.
Yeah,
Like he just he looks way too young to take it this far, you know.
that's right. Yeah.
But yeah. So where are we?
So yeah, so it just like flashes back to Knights of Ren, in the rain, and like with screams of a child, and Kylo says like, Snoke made his orders clear, find anyone who could destroy him, and it didn't take us long to find you. So it's pretty much like it's confirming that the person who like was looking for her when she was younger was the same person that were killing all these Force sensitive kids.
Yep.
Which was like the Knights of Ren and under the orders of Snoke, right? So Kylo says, "You blame me for your life on Jakku. You should have thanked me for it. You were safe." And Kylo says, "Say it. Did you
Rey
kill
says-
them?" Oh, what did I say? Kylo?
Yeah.
Ray replies with, "Say it. Did you kill them?" And then Kylo says, "Yes, I did." Which, yeah,
Bum, bum.
yeah.
And Ray
Big
also has
reveal.
anger issues.
I like this way better than Palpatine being her grandfather.
If
Yeah.
it worked,
Yeah.
And
didn't-
some
it doesn't work,
assassin
though.
and all this other shit. Like
This is way
This
better.
is way better.
This is better. I like the idea, but then the timeline thing would make me hate it.
Yeah.
I honestly, it would ruin it.
I
What
feel
part?
like they
Oh,
didn't
you
have
mean
to
like
do
trying to
that.
like justify the
Age thing.
the age
Yeah.
thing? Okay,
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like he doesn't have to be that much older for all of this to have transpired. Just has to be like a 4 or 5 year age gap.
No, it can't be because okay, so she was 8. I want to say 8
Yeah.
in that
Yeah,
scene.
like 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like
then he
Kylo was in his like 20s when that scene took place with him and Luke when they broke
or
apart.
like a teen. He was at least a teenager.
Yeah.
Right.
So he would have to have gone to Snoke, and then he would have gotten a little bit older. So like let's say 25, right?
I don't think he's. I think the thing with
I think he's 25 now.
I think by the end of it, he's probably like early to mid 20s. I think with like the Luke thing when he's training, he's like a teenager a bit, like maybe 13.
Right.
14,
So
15,
okay. So
yeah.
let's say he turns dark side 25, kills Rey's parents. That would make Rey 9. So that you think there's like a 16-year difference between
No,
the
it's
two of
too
them.
much.
And well, like visually, we can't
No.
justify that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that may be the case for all we know,
Hmm.
right? Keep in mind, Anakin was a pretty young-looking guy for his age as well, right?
Mhm.
And so was Leia.
Well, yeah, I get that. Like
Yeah.
Anakin was a few years younger than Padme, but when they aged them up, like when they did, like it wasn't weird. Like
Right.
it made sense. Like it was
Right,
like,
right, right.
already defined
Right.
that he was like younger.
Right.
I just think that would have bugged me. I do like the
Or
story idea.
I guess
but-
what they could have done was like Rey being left there when she was younger was because of Snoke's doing, and then the
and
parents
then
were
maybe,
hiding
or
away.
maybe Kylo was like chasing her the whole time.
No. So Kylo wasn't dark side yet when Rey was really young, and then the parents got taken away because Snoke was already hunting them before Kylo.
Right.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
then
Right.
and then Kylo becomes his number one agent, and then he hunts down everybody.
Mhm.
Doesn't find Rey, just finds the parents.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
we
that would
solved
that would
it.
take some
We
explaining.
solved it. But Kylo basically he reveals all he wants is behind the temple doors. And they battle. And at one point, they try to sap the living force out of each other. So they're both using dark side
I
powers.
love this.
That's just
Yeah, I kinda
euphemism
love
for
this.
kissing, right? Or no?
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
I love this.
Is that
You
how you
see
do
them
it?
reaching at each other, and again, it echoes back to the scene in the Last Jedi when the lightsaber explodes. Right?
Yeah.
They're both like hands out, like just pulling fucking energy from
But
each
doesn't
other.
make that also doesn't make sense because Kylo took all the power from like
Yeah.
Torvalum.
Torvalum.
Yeah.
Right.
And, like how the heck would Rey even
Stand up
match
to that?
Yeah.
Not only that, but like Kylo's
See-
taller, so it would take him longer to fill up.
even if she could do it, even if she somehow instinctively know how to do that, it wouldn't
Yeah.
make sense if she overpowered him.
No.
She
no.
doesn't have life drain either. Like
Yeah.
she never learned it. But yeah, I mean, she could have instinctively like.
But maybe like
But
being on
I could
Mortis.
see her defending herself somehow or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
not counter life
Yeah.
draining. Yeah. I agree.
But maybe being on Mortis was like I don't know, maybe she just imbued that power, like is like just
Yeah.
being there. I don't know. But you're right, she didn't learn it yet. So that's kind of an interesting beat for sure. All right, where are we at? Okay.
She never seems to learn her powers though, so whatever.
Yeah.
So we go back to Coruscant. 3PO and R2 spot an R06 droid trying to send a distress signal. R2 beeps at 3PO to stop it, and 3PO runs through gunfire
Oh,
and rips the back panel off, destroying it.
badass.
Damn, I don't know
When
if I
did
could.
C-3PO get so
Also-
gangster?
Also,
Yo,
can't
he's
you imagine
always
him
been-
running? He just speed walks.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
just
no, he,
speed- so he's
he
speed
like
walking
can't
through
run. He like waddles.
And he
Can
speed walks in
fly.
the other direction. He doesn't speed walk towards danger.
Hello, R2 has gone through some shit. Okay, he's been
R2 has, but not C-3PO.
Oh shit, that was C-3PO.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
dude.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
that's weird. No,
Yeah.
that's his character development, I guess.
And wait. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah.
If R2 saw this shit, he'd turn on his little afterburner
Yes,
legs
exactly.
and go do it himself.
Yeah, he can kick
Sorry,
ass for
this
sure.
is
Okay,
too off
Do
character.
we know what
for
an
me.
R6 looks like?
Yeah, I think it's the tall white one that kind of looks like a garbage can.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I think so. I'm not
Yeah.
100%. We could Google that, but
Mhm. Anyway, yeah. This scene, I don't know.
It would have been funny to see R2 try to slap it and nothing happens, and
With
R2
the-
just like rams into it
with the mechanical arm. Yeah, no, dude, this is what that is way too off R2's
Yeah,
character for me.
it's weird.
Yeah. So then we go back.
You mean C-3PO?
Yeah.
No, R2's like hit R2 not being the one to react.
Oh,
to
yeah,
the
Yeah, that's
situation.
true. He wouldn't tell
Yeah.
someone else to do it.
Yeah.
But then we go back to Mortis, and Kylo says to Rey, "I could have been your teacher." Yeah, okay. I could have ended your pain. Kylo strikes a blow across Rey's face, leaving a scar from her cheek
Ooh.
to her forehead.
I like that too. Yeah.
Rey
I like
screams in
that.
pain and falls down the temple stairs. She has been blinded.
Oh, what?
Wait,
Okay.
Yeah.
that's a
Blinded.
lot.
wait. In the notes we had, the other notes we had,
Did say
he gets
that.
blinded with this lightsaber strike though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
was.
what it says here.
Oh,
Strikes a blow.
oh,
With the
okay.
lightsaber.
I thought it was like an open hand slap.
No.
She slaps her and then she goes
you-
blind.
The eye just falls off.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. 'Cause that's
Here's
that's,
another trick I learned.
That's
It's
what I
called-
got. That's what I
Damn.
got. I don't know.
But so that's crazy. And then Kylo enters the temple of Mortis.
I kind of like the idea of her being a little blind. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully just
Like
a
That
one
was-
eye.
or
Yeah,
both?
Oh,
hopefully
yeah,
was-
it's
just one
totally
eye.
samurai, like monk, super
Yeah.
like.
And that was
Crazy
foreshadowed
shit.
earlier on this movie, actually, when she was wearing her blindfold.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like they got into the force fight. And,
Yeah.
And it seems like I don't know, it seems like everybody has to like lose a body part or something.
Yeah.
You know?
And nobody has the balls to cut somebody's pretty face up. It's like, here you go, here's one. Actually, Anakin got
He did get cut.
he got
Yeah,
a
they
little
got
cute
cut.
scar
I know,
on
it was
his
cute.
eye.
It's pretty
Like a
cute.
little cute scar.
Pretty cute.
Then nobody knows how he got. Anyways.
But then the next scene gets me. In the battle course on R2 is destroyed. R2's head is scorched, emotion like we've never seen before from 3PO.
What?
3PO. C-3PO. Finn is speechless. He is crushed by it all. Chewie takes R2's scorched shell onto his back. Damn, it's like how he
Dang.
carried C-3PO
Exactly.
on
I
his
love
back
this.
in Empire Strike Back.
Yes.
Although that was funny because C-3PO would not shut up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
They
funny.
had to shut it. Yeah.
Yeah, and he gets his and also when he saved him
Oh,
in
man.
the prequels when he got his
But
head back.
According, Trevor tweeted
I
that
love this.
R2 doesn't actually die.
Yeah, he doesn't,
Yeah,
he
because the
doesn't
movie
die.
would end.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he's the narrator, god
Yeah.
damn it.
and we would all
Yeah.
fucking riot.
Yeah.
If there's one character's death I'd ride over, it would be R2.
Me too.
That's for sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then back
And Winter Soldier.
and Winter Soldier if that is not in this movie. But then yeah, we go back to Coruscant, not Coruscant, sorry, Mortis again.
Yep. Kylo passes statues of the ancients and reaches a stone slab. He opens it to reveal nothing. Kylo searches the rune-covered walls for answers, but only finds arcane sculpted faces. Angry, he slashes at the statues with his lightsaber. Of course he does. Force Ghost Luke then appears to Kylo Ren. You've lost, Ben. Luke confronts Kylo. Luke, Darth Vader was weak. His love for his family saved them? His love for his family saved them. I wish I could save you. Kylo, I did what I had to do. Luke, you are no Skywalker. I love this.
Oh, I don't know if I like that because he is a Skywalker and you have to accept that.
Yeah, but
He is.
but Kylo's the one that breaks the cycle, right? Like Vader ends up being redeemed, right? Luke ends up being good. Leia
But
ends
here's the
up being
thing.
good.
But in
Luke-
terms of like if you compare what Kylo's done to what Vader's done,
Yeah.
Vader is still worse off.
Yeah.
Like literally Anakin went from like I'm
And
a
Luke-
Jedi to killing like young
Kids,
like
young
Kylo
right
didn't
in
blow up
2
any
seconds.
planet
Just
yet.
seconds, yeah.
Yeah.
Vader blew up a planet,
And Luke,
Kylo hasn't done
Luke
that yet.
never gave up on Vader. Never gave up on Vader.
Yeah.
Right? Like
This is not Luke.
yeah, like he wouldn't have given up on Kylo, who's like this young and it's his own student, right? Like,
Yeah, and his nephew,
Yeah,
and like his
Oh man, check
Yeah.
this next
okay,
bit out.
go ahead.
Rey senses Luke. She's blind, right? But she senses him. You can't defeat us. And Rey pulls the blindfold from her training and ties it around her eyes.
Oh, shit.
I like that. And then we cut
That's
between.
fucking nuts.
That's
Sorry,
dope.
go ahead.
So then we cut between battle sequences, and Luke says, "The Force surrounds us. It penetrates us. It blinds the galaxy together.
Binds.
Binds the galaxy together." Whoops, we're saying blind too much.
Yeah.
We are bound by the Force, and we will not be broken. Luke's Force ghost vanishes.
so awesome.
Love it.
And then Rey battles Kylo. Our masters were wrong. I will not deny my anger. I will not reject my love. I am the darkness and I am the light.
Love
And
it.
Yeah, I like that line. That's a good line. Kylo says, "You are nothing. You are no one." And Rey says, "No one is
I don't like
I don't like that one either.
I don't
Yeah,
like that. I don't like
That was a
that.
little corny.
But I love the I will not deny my anger and I will not reject
Yeah.
my love. That is
Yeah.
literally like I'm a
Yeah.
great Jedi. Go fuck yourself.
Also, that's like what it means to be like human.
Human, exactly.
It's like what
No.
it really means to be.
Yeah.
to exist.
exactly.
Yeah, and like Luke
Exactly.
vanishing right before then was a perfect analogy for him, like finally giving Rey like make your decision.
Yes.
You're the next generation Jedi.
Yes.
You I think you're wrong, but I'm giving you the decision
Yep.
now.
Yeah.
Right? Like I think that was.
I like the no one is no one line.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I just
Lord
do. I know
Cornball.
it's kind of corny, but I think in the moment, especially with like her like figuring out like that she is like a nobody and like all
Yeah.
that stuff, she's like, no, like I'm not. And then maybe it could have been phrased differently, but I like that acceptance. Like I like I am someone in this. Like no, like there is not one person. And then I know we talk about Broom Boy a lot, and like other people at the Force and stuff like that. But that's the thing. It's like nobody is like no one. Like you are.
That's true.
In terms of that. But I will say I do like this a lot.
Yeah.
I
no,
like this.
no, it sounds
Yeah, I like
fantastic.
this scene.
Sounds fantastic. So next up, Hux has been trying to use the Force throughout the script.
Okay.
Apparently,
I would love to see
I would
that.
love to
That's
see
funny.
this shit.
That's
I would
funny.
love to see this shit. And is revealed. I love this part though. I love this part. He's
Oh, yes.
revealed to be a lightsaber collector.
Oh, he's a fanboy. He's a fanboy.
Yeah.
He's a,
that-
Je-
that
he's a
makes
Jedi
sense.
fanboy,
I
Sith
mean-
fanboy, whatever.
That's why he's so
I've
jealous of
probably
Kylo.
done that at
He had,
some
he had
point
a poster
in time.
of Darth Vader up
Yeah.
on his wall.
Yeah, this is like a good explanation for the jealousy. And I mean, I don't know. I've tried to like levitate shit. Like I've done that.
I've done that. Like, I wish I could just shut the light off from my bed.
Yeah, when you're like in bed, you don't want
Yeah.
to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've like
Oh,
focused on an
shit.
object. Like
yeah, I know.
So
What,
let me
what?
take this.
Yeah, you go for
So apparently, what? So when it's like he goes to his room, starts pouting because it's clear that he's lost the battle for Coruscant.
Yep.
He pulls out a freaking purple lightsaber. So
Mace
he had it.
Windu's.
He had it
Mace
this
Windu's
whole
lightsaber.
time.
Yeah.
Of course he would. And then it's actually legit says commit seppuku.
Yeah.
So he kills himself.
The
Yeah.
only time I've
That's
ever seen that word
hilarious.
is in Cards Against Humanity. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Wait, he kills himself?
Seppuku,
yeah,
yeah.
that's when you fall upon
He
your
Yeah, I
disembowels
know.
him.
I know
He
that. I get
disembowels
that.
himself.
But like, that does not. I feel like Hux is like a cockroach.
Opportunistic. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
he would just be there to the end.
I'm still shocked about the purple lightsaber to comment
I
on that,
love
but
this.
that's so
funny.
awesome that
I
he has it.
fucking
I
love
like
this.
that he's a lightsaber collector. I agree. I don't think he would have the guts to kill himself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
don't-
not
I'm
the.
digging
It's not
this,
even.
though.
Yeah,
You're
I
right.
just don't think
Not in that
that's
way.
him.
Yeah, he's a huckster, right?
Yeah.
Hence his name. I
Well,
just look what I did there.
So, Kylo counters Rey's every move. So it's back to the fight. They're evenly matched, two sides of the same coin. This is actually the actual words they're using: flame and shadow,
All right.
fighting to the death. Okay, this is so
Easy.
samurai. This is fucking nuts. Okay, a vicious swing and Kylo's lightsaber shatters at the hilt, destroyed along with several fingers on his hand.
I like that.
Wait,
too.
Yeah.
wait. Several fingers on his hand, on his one hand.
She just got
That
blinded.
doesn't make any sense.
So
Okay.
Dan, they're
Okay.
really losing a lot here. I
Also,
feel like-
shatters.
Yeah,
That's actually a weird thing that like a lot of these new Star Wars movies have gotten wrong. Is they forgot how lightsabers work. Like when Finn got cut in the back, the old lightsabers would cut you in half.
No
You don't
shit.
get a scratch. Like
but if he got hit with like if he was pulling his shot
Hmm.
and just got him with the edge, like just to leave a mark, like that's what I got from Kylo when he did that to him. I didn't get like he was trying to kill him. I really didn't.
right, but like okay,
Yeah.
so this entire time it's always been like superficial cuts.
Yeah,
We've never seen that in lightsabers. Also in Force or in Rise, where he like lifts somebody up with the blade of the lightsaber. That's not how lightsabers work.
yeah,
You cut them in half or nothing.
yeah. True. But they've been okay. So Ryan Johnson was pulling stuff from the Jedi Path, the book.
Mm-hmm.
I have the Jedi Path, and it's a lot of samurai sword techniques, like
Mhm.
disarming techniques.
Yeah.
So cutting off the hands, separating at the elbow, like basically disarming your opponent, right? And
Mm.
they've carried it over into the lightsaber styles as well. So this is very much a lightsaber
Oh, yeah.
technique, like being able to disarm your enemy and obviously having advantage over them, right? So Rey stands over him and separates her dual lightsaber. As the force energy surrounds her, separates it. Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
That's very unclear.
I guess the two pieces of her lightsaber can like come apart in the middle.
I
And she
don't
can
know,
turn
dude.
into two swords.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's
Just
not
like
the weirdest
Ventress.
thing.
Yeah, I
Ventress
could
has
see
that.
that.
Yeah,
That's
Ventress could
Like
do
it
that.
locks in the middle, twist and lock in the middle. I don't
As
know.
As the force energy surrounds her like a glow, Kylo sees He tries to extract the living force out of Rey. He gets stronger and stands. His face rejuvenates, allowing him to remove the metal
Oh.
attachment. Rey gets weaker, dying. She pleads Ben to stop.
Oh shit! So
Yeah.
he
So then-
unleashes his new toy.
Leia can sense all of this. She reaches out to Kylo. She begs him to come home. He feels what Vader felt when confronted with Luke's pain and grabs Rey's hand, returning her life force. Both the light and the dark swirl within Rey as Kylo is reduced to an empty shell.
That's so. In the end, it's
Wait,
still his
what?
mom.
Yeah.
In the end, it's still Leia. And I think honestly, if he was going to turn good, like Leia was it.
Yep.
You know.
That's
Yep.
true.
And also, if Leia intervening like this and helping Rey is the ultimate indicator that Kylo Ren is done. Like he's gone too far. He's taken Ben Solo with him. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a weird climax scene for me though.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just it's like
So she
it's
loses
like a
the
flip.
fight.
It's like a flip of switch.
but like three of them all in a
Yeah.
row. Like he loses the fight. Like she loses the fight because of her eyes, and then he loses the fight, and then Leia interferes. And
Yeah.
it's just weird.
But
I
this
also
is
don't see
better
Leia
than-
killing her
Oh,
own
yeah.
son.
This is
Yeah,
better
yeah.
than the other climax scene.
I don't see Leia killing her own son.
Yeah.
Because if she was going to do that at some point, she would have done it
But Leia
already.
doesn't kill Kylo. She helps Rey.
Oh, well.
Right?
And
But also,
doing-
how does that kill Kylo? That's so weird.
Well, because he knows that, like, I think Leia must understand, like, what she's asking Kylo to do because she's sensing what's going on.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't. I
know what I
don't think
mean?
Rey would have
no,
killed
but
Kylo.
okay, but
as
then
well.
it still doesn't explain like the pseudoscience that comes
Yeah.
with it,
Yeah.
right?
You know what? I don't know.
Yeah.
It
Chris.
just seems out of character too. I don't think Rey would have killed
Yeah.
Kylo. So
Well, okay, so this is the thing. In the dying breath,
Yes.
Kylo reveals Rey's last name is Solana, and he dies.
Yep.
And the battle course on is raging on as this happens. And so we know her last name.
Wait. Sorry. Just want to take one beat on this last name thing. This is, to me, that's Ben Solo bleeding through for one last time before he's gone.
Mm.
Like, that's totally, like, Kylo wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Ben Solo would do that.
Yeah.
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 And Rey lays on the stone slab, still injured. Light fills up the space around her, particles of energy floating up. She rises with the energy. The light engulfs the frame until we reach a place beyond what we know, the astral plane. And this is what I love. This scene, I don't know if I love it or not, actually. Let me think about this. But Yoda, Luke, and Obi-Wan appear before her, and Rey asks, "Is this death?" Obi-Wan says, "In this place, there's no such thing as death." Yoda reveals Rey succeeded where they failed. Luke says, "You chose to embrace the dark side and the light to find
Yes!
the balance within."
Yes!
Which I kind of like
that.
them realizing, because like we've said this before, there's always been a push and pull of like
Yes.
good and then light and then good and light, but it is about like each human being. I'm getting
Yes.
real philosophical here, but like each human is like that's what you're comprised of,
Yeah,
though,
dude.
right? You know what I
Yep.
mean? You can't really.
You can't be completely one of the other. I'm sorry. It's not possible. There's always going to be a balance between energy, between personality, between character. Like, you're not just going to be like a 100% good person. You're not going to make the
and
right choice.
Chris was looking at me like he's like, "No, man, I'm lawful evil."
Chaotic evil,
Chaotic
lawful evil.
You're right.
But no, this is the way to end this fucking story, because The Last Jedi highlighted all the failure from the Jedi, The Last Jedi highlighted the failures of the Jedi Order and how they were the ones that kind of led to this ultimate kind of climax, right? With Vader coming to power and the Empire, et cetera, and then to end on this where the Masters finally realized that they were wrong. That's growth.
Right.
That's literal, like, humane development.
I didn't see it
that's
as them
personal
admitting they
growth.
were wrong, though. They
That
just kind
is
of
t-
said
that's
that she made
totally-
a choice.
No,
They
no,
told her she
no,
made a-
no. They said she was right.
Okay, well,
They say she's right.
No,
that
but
doesn't mean they were wrong.
They also say, I agree. Like, they also say that, like, you know, you've embraced our teachings, but also you haven't rejected the other side, right? Like, they're not saying that, like, you know, like the Jedi Order was wrong.
Yeah, but Yoda. Okay, so Yoda, the wisest out of all of them,
Yeah.
says Rey succeeded where they failed.
yeah.
Saying you succeeded where they failed that's being like
Yeah, because a big
very humble
when you-
about their failings.
when you
right?
think of the start of this whole thing to the prequels,
yeah,
just Anakin not being allowed to basically be with Padme and
Yeah.
love her. I mean, that's how this started. Like
that
it
was
was
their
a love
order.
story.
Exactly.
Right. So yeah, they find a middle ground, and I think
Love
that's
this.
where we all wanted.
Love
Where
this.
we all wanted this to
Yes.
end. However, I don't like this idea of this astral plane. too many goddamn extra dimensional crap. Like I think they could have done like they're in Mortis. Why do they need an astral plane
Sure.
for?
Okay.
Like they
good
all
point.
could have showed up. Like
Good
I
point.
hate that.
Good point.
Because Ray had to semi die. They wanted
Yeah.
Ray to like semi be dead.
I don't know. It's so weird to me that like there's this extra dimensional creature that gives Kylo this extra dimensional ability, and then they go to Mortis, an extra dimensional space, and then there's another one on top
No,
of that.
wait, no.
So in the next
Remnacor,
one- in the next one-
Remnacor wasn't extra dimensional.
It wasn't.
It was a planet.
But thing was described as this like eldritch being that wasn't
Yeah.
really alive.
Yeah.
And I wasn't saying Remnacor was, but like Torvalum was this extra dimensional being that's how he was kind of like.
I got more of a
portrayed
vibe that he
as.
was corporeal, but he was 7,000 years
Sure,
old,
whatever.
right?
But like,
yeah.
But them being on like Mortis and then like having an astral plane on top of that's weird. That's something that's never happened in Star Wars.
I can see where you're coming from with that. Yeah.
Sorry, in the next point, they tell her she could stay in the comfort of the astral plane or return back to Earth where she would experience love and loss.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just feel like...
Yeah. And then I do like this line.
I feel like they wanted her to die. They wanted her to be, like, kind of dead.
Or like choose, like kind
Force
of
ghost,
halfway.
yeah.
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 But the spirits fade, and Obi-Wan says, "You are a Jedi, Rey Solana, but you will not be the last."
Yeah.
Which, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of just like seeing Ewan McGregor and all of them again.
Yeah, me too. And I
And
like
no,
the idea.
and no
of-
Anakin. Like what? Like what's
Yeah.
like? That's
Anakin
weird.
should be there.
Anakin should be there.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, if he wasn't there before, I don't think he should have been there now. Like, I think he should have been there earlier to do stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like Darth Vader didn't become a Force ghost. Oh no, he did. He definitely did.
He did.
because
Yeah, he
you see
did.
him.
He's a Jedi.
He was at the
Yeah.
end of Return
he's
Jedi.
standing there while they're all partying on
That's
Endor.
so weird. I'm trying
I
to
love
like.
that scene.
And there's
I'm trying to
old-
give them
and
like
there's old one,
like
and then there's young
justifications,
one,
but there
too.
isn't one. Yeah, like
Yeah.
he should have been there. That's for damn
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
So I do like how the Jedi are saying that, like, we have failings, like we should have never let you guys, like, we should have never, like, forbade love,
Forbidden it.
forbid. That's forbade, isn't it?
forbidden you from connection and
Yeah.
and yeah.
We're trying to do an English
I think
lesson here.
forbade
Frank.
is a word. I think
Yeah.
forbade's a word.
Yeah, I think
like
it's a word.
like
I think it's a
love
word.
and connection and all of that. Like I love how they were saying that like we had failings, but they're not like disregarding their teachings because
Yeah.
they say like embrace the light as well as the dark,
Yep.
right? And it's like and I like how Yoda was saying it. Yeah, you're right. Like Darth Vader
Yeah.
should have goddamn been there.
I do like, and the whole going back to the light dark thing, I do like that because in terms of like being like, because I feel like they should embrace both, and then that way they're not making a decision based on either one. Like you are trying to find this middle ground,
Yeah.
and there's never been like a middle ground with them, and it's hard to like live up to either standards of like
Yeah.
just harsh. You know what I mean? Like they're both very strict standards.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting to the end here.
Last two scenes.
Yeah. So Chewie repairs R2 as C-3PO observes. He expresses concern over losing R2 to Leia. Leia inserts R2's memories bank. And so this is like an ode to Leia putting.
Oh my god.
That's
the Death-
awesome.
Oh, it is. It's like putting the Death Star plans in R2
Oh.
inside A New Hope. That's
Ooh.
like kind of like a callback to that scene, which again is
That's
such an
kinda cool.
iconic. Like that scene is so iconic. And he comes back to life. R2 projects 60 years worth of memory. All
Oh
from his
my
point
god.
Of view. Oh, I would cry.
That's actually so
I
dope.
think I would definitely. This version would make me cry. So we see a POV. So Luke buying him from Jawas, Luke getting Anakin's lightsaber,
Whoa.
flying through the Death Star
Oh
trench,
my
Han getting his
God.
medal on Yavin. Oh my gosh, Yoda
That's better
lifting
than
the
people
X-wing
like
from the
hovering in
swamp.
space or whatever. I like
Luke's
that.
saluting from the plank on Jabba's barge. Han and Leia outside on the bunker on Andor.
Oh my
Leia's
god.
taken aback from seeing the memory. Yeah, this version would make
I
me
love
cry.
everything they listed. The whole
Oh my god.
because he saluted to R2 in that
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi scene.
Yeah.
and then
It'd be so
Flying
much-
through the trench, he was there. Oh, that's
Yeah.
so awesome.
Oh
it
my
would be even
God.
more interesting if he went back to the prequels and showed that stuff.
Yeah, they should have for
Oh
sure.
yeah. Oh
Damn.
my
Okay, this
God,
part,
dude.
this scene. Okay, I'll give you this scene. This scene would make me cry.
Oh no, wait. Sorry, just on the prequels thing. R2 gets wiped.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't.
C-3PO gets wiped.
R2
He never
never
gets
got
wiped.
wiped.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this to me, I'm sorry, but this is the perfect ending to this
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, I
Okay.
like that ending.
No, this particular scene, like I don't care what movie
That's
it ended
so
up in.
awesome.
This is the perfect ending to
Yeah, I
this
like
story.
that as an ending to the
This is
9
beautiful.
movies.
This
yeah.
is just fucking
Yeah.
beautiful. I would have walked out of the theater in tears. Like without a doubt.
Damn, that's a good scene.
And then.
God damn Kathleen Kennedy.
Well, okay. Here's the thing. Okay, but let's get to the last thing. So then we cut to Modesta, which I'm assuming is another planet. It's
Yeah.
a ranch-like planet.
Named after the place where Skywalker Studio is, I guess now.
I don't
Modesta,
even know.
California.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
is it?
Yeah, because
So-
that's part of California. Modesta is.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
So then Finn is there, and Rey.
Oh my god!
Solana-
Wait. Well, sorry. It's a ranch-like planet. Skywalker Ranch.
Oh, okay.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So Finn is there,
Yeah.
and then Rey Solana arrives to train a new group of Jedi. So
Yeah.
it's a continuation.
Yeah.
And
I
that's,
like that too.
I do
Yeah.
like that. Okay, but here's the thing. So we can give our thoughts on the whole script. I do not think it's a bad script. There are definitely things that I know that I would see in there that I would have
Yeah.
just as much issue
Me
with.
too.
But the things that I might have had issues with Rise of Skywalker because I did
Okay.
enjoy it.
Mhm.
Rise
Okay.
of Skywalker.
Mm.
I'm not saying it's a bad script.
Okay.
I would say my favorite thing was the Coruscant beacon.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the script. Like I said before, it's easier to like the script because I'm imagining the scenes in my head, and like even now that we got more details, I had more problems with the individual details, like with Mortis and all that. But like I think overall, like the big like set pieces and the big like decisions made were more justifiable, because they took a lot of risks, but they they made foundations for each risk. And like I think it was a way stronger way of telling a story than like the whole like not really giving justifications for things like in Rise of Skywalker. And I do what I really love the most is like it goes full circle. Like there's a lot of my biggest love for this script is the respect it gives to the rest of the rest of the thing. Like one to whatever we're at now.
Yeah. Beautiful. Just beautiful echoes for
Yeah.
sure.
1 to 9.
I think one of the things I was sad about was the treatment of Rose in Rise of Skywalker. So it was nice to see, because they introduced her and they gave her a story arc. So it was nice to see her story arc like come through to completion.
Yeah.
I guess they kind of gave her a little bit of a story arc in Rise of Skywalker when she's with Finn on the last ship and kind of trying to save him or whatever. They did kind of give her that, but I don't know. Yeah, I just like her story arc better in this. And yeah, I think I also had issues with how they tried to justify things in dialogue in Rise of Skywalker. So in this one, I agree with Chris. They laid the foundations a lot better for new things that they introduced. And
Yep.
it kind of like made more sense in that way.
Yeah. Okay, my take. So as far as creativity, overall creativity, this script has way more than what we got in Rise of Skywalker. As far as creating situations for our characters, the character development elements, just the story is a lot more immersive and a lot more exciting. The whole stealing the Death Star, the whole stealing the Knife Nine, the whole going back to Coruscant, even
You said Death Star?
Star Destroyer.
Okay.
stealing the Star Destroyer, stealing the Knife Nine. This script is almost exactly what I imagine my favorite Star Wars movie to be. I love that there was more things that I could identify with real world insurgency in this movie than I could with any other Star Wars movie, right? Like the whole breaking into the concentration camps and, disguising yourselves as like, immigrants to get close to people and rescue them. Like, to me, that's amazing.
Yeah, I
okay?
really like the opening of
Yeah.
this. That was like a really great opening.
Okay, without a doubt, this is my favorite opening of all Star Wars movies, all of them. Like, if I had seen this play out, I would lose my shit.
This is the thing, I think
Even Attack of the Clones?
yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think we always like want what we can't have though. You know what
True.
I mean? Like I feel like
true.
in theory a lot of things are good.
Yeah,
So I don't know if this is like the saving grace. Like this is gonna fix everything or whatever, like fix this trilogy. There's
Mhm.
definitely story beats I really did like in this one for sure. I do like I said, like I agree with Christina, like the inclusion of Rose. I think I
Yeah.
really don't like how they didn't include her a lot. I like this idea of like the light and the darkness working together. I think that's what it should have been.
yes,
But like,
yeah,
I feel like there was a lot going on in some of the scenes, and I
There was.
wonder how the pacing would have been.
there was.
I mean,
The-
like I'm a
Yeah.
little skeptical, but I do like it. It
Yeah.
is.
the stacking of the scenes with the characters was definitely complex and very ambitious, 100%. But as far as emotional payoff for all the things I was waiting on emotional payoff for, I got it more out of this script.
Mhm.
Honestly, I had more fun reading this script with you guys than watching The Rise of Skywalker, without a doubt. I'm sorry.
That's just because we're fun, Frank.
Well,
we're fun people.
okay, but this script paid off a lot for me. And honestly, that ending, I'm still fucking torn
that's
up
the first
about
time I
that.
read that. That wasn't a
Yeah.
fabricated reaction.
No.
Like
That was a good.
No,
I just read that right now, and that
Beautiful.
was a fucking fantastic.
beautiful. Like it's
And
one of
aren't
the.
you doing it too? Out of all of them, like
I also really liked how
He's
they
our-
did the
he's our
idea
narrator.
of the balancing the force. I think
Yes.
that's something a lot of people wanted.
That's
to
what I was
see, so.
like. Okay, so
Yeah.
so ever since I watched the prequels, and I screamed at the screen that like, what the fuck are you idiots doing? Like, he's right under your nose. Like, this is fucking ridiculous, right? That's a big problem people had with the prequels, right? But they further justified it down the line with the fact that Palpatine was a very strong dark force user, and apparently there was something underneath the Jedi Temple that was helping hide his Sithiness at the same time.
How we're calling it?
Sithiness,
Yeah.
sure. But now this is the payoff, right?
Mm.
This is the payoff. And I don't like the fact that the Jedi Order came from a place of like religious zealotry. Like, that is not my fucking thing at all, right? Like, I'm 100% agnostic, right? Like, I'm agnostic about pretty much everything.
are agnostics 100% on anything though?
No,
Okay.
not really. Not really. But good one though. But yeah, like this was a payoff. Like seeing the Force. Like okay, it's hard to explain. So Anakin was supposed to be the balance in the Force,
Yeah.
right? But this was the balance in the Force. This was the ultimate final balancing
Yeah.
of the Force, right? And to see, and especially since the line was given to Yoda, being the wisest and the oldest of all of them, saying that they had failed and that Rey had succeeded. This only made me fall in love with the Rey character even more. And to be honest, I'm not a huge like Rey fan. Like I come from the camp of she was overpowered in number 1 and blah 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 blah. But this script definitely helped me accept her a lot more. So I'm satisfied. Like I said, I had more fun doing this with you guys than going to see The Rise of Skywalker.
How many
And
times
that-
did you see The Rise of Skywalker?
3.
Okay.
And
as-
I think that speaks volumes because
you would have seen it 10 times if
Well,
you liked it more.
and I'm also I'm also a big film guy, right? So yeah, I think that says a lot because when it comes to movies, I'm a very visual person. Like, I enjoy the visual elements of it too. But this script was so fucking strong that's the impact it had on me with I can't say no visuals, but the concept art. So anyways, we really hope you guys enjoyed this because I think we all like, come on guys, we had fun doing this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It was a good
was a
time.
good idea.
It was a really good time. And we really appreciate you guys spending the time and listening in, and we'd love to hear your thoughts on this script or any of the thoughts that we had from the script or from the reading of the script, like any of the the insights that we shared. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking as well. So, feel free to, drop us, an email at meanwhile.botpodcast@gmail.com, or hit us up on Twitter at meanwhile_pod. We'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. Maybe, is this something you guys would like to see us do a call-in show for? I don't know, but if it's something that you guys could get behind, let us know, man. That might be cool. I don't know. But yeah, so I think we're going to sign off here. May the Force be with you. This has been Frank McGuire.
Christina Duduma.
Chris Abana.
Love Amir.
Later, dudes.
#Ray Solana.